Hello, everybody. This is Monday. This is Not a Clue Podcast. It's back after a 1 week break, our gigantic hiatus of 1 week. Thank you guys so much for listening.
I had shit to do.
My name is Brad.
I'm not.
That's CD. No intern Kenneth tonight, so we're flying with the original crew here. So let's do the socials, get that shit out of the way. You're listening here at Spreaker.com/show/NotACluePodcast. Find us on iTunes as well. You can download, do all your stuff there, rate us, blah, blah, blah.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Technical terms.
Yes. Facebook.com/NotACluePodcast. Find us on the Twitter thingy at NotACluePod. Instagram at NotACluePodcast. YouTube. First name of the channel, Not a Clue, all one word. Second is podcast, so Not a Clue and podcast. So, let's get right to the stuff today, because I'd like to get through the show so I can go sleep, just like you would like to as well. Personal life is really caught up to the both of us, so
pretty much
we're exhausted as shit. So let's start off. Let's do some NBA playoffs. Let's do there, and then we'll go.
Playoffs.
Then we'll go to the really huge story of the weekend that happened yesterday.
Whatever do you mean?
The Lion.
I watched most of it. I wasn't even able to watch the rest of it.
Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. That's what
nice.
we're talking about. But, so, with all the game ones that have gone on so far this postseason, and how many upsets there have been so far just through the first game.
I don't even think there's been one upset. I don't think the other one was an upset, really.
No?
No?
Do you think the Toronto one's an upset?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. But the way it went, but I like the Philly-Brooklyn series, it's not really an upset, I don't think. Like, it's just their seed higher, but I don't see Philly with Embiid being hurt. I think that
if Embiid's hurt, that's a big difference, I think.
That's what I was going to say. It takes it from an upset to, I think they're two evenly matched teams. If you have a healthy Embiid, it's an upset. But even though he played, he wasn't Embiid.
24 minutes, something like that?
I was on and off during the game because I was watching other things.
Yeah. I think it was 24 minutes
but
total.
Even though I thought he played more than because he had a decent stat line.
Oh, no, it's 34 minutes.
But he was hurt. He
wasn't
Embiid. So if he's healthy and Brooklyn wins, then it's an upset.
That's a different
With him
story.
being...
Being 50-50,
yeah.
would you say?
It's like,
he can
not
still
really,
play, but he's hurt type
not
deal.
really. He's still probably the best player on the floor, but his 50% of him isn't. Well, him at 50% isn't the best player on the floor no more. He's a top 3 or 4 player, but like you can take 50% of LeBron and he would still be the best player on the floor amongst those two teams.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, you got to look at so if you have him at 50-50, you would have Jimmy Buckets ahead of him.
Oh, yeah.
Butler.
Jimmy Butler, D'Angelo Russell.
I was going to say Russell.
Ben Simmons sometimes.
What about anybody else?
No, not Tobias, not Chris LeVert. No, not Spencer Dinwiddie.
Okay.
No.
Those are literally were the names that were about ready to come.
That's pretty much all the names.
Yeah. JJ Redick. Hey.
Gotta throw a white guy in there just for prosperity.
You're damn right.
Breaking news, which is not real breaking news.
What's the breaking news? Oh, sorry.
Duke star forward and projected #1 pick Zion Williamson declares for NBA draft. I just wondered what took so long. I'm surprised he didn't declare as soon as they lost.
Yeah,
but I'm leaving, guys. See you later.
He gets off the court. He's got an NBA jersey on underneath the Duke one. He's like...
It was 3 minutes in the court. He's calling his agent. Let's start these pre-draft workouts.
Yeah, this isn't going so well, so we're done.
It'd have been breaking news. Zion Williams comes back.
Oh, my God. The fact that it took so long, I wonder how, real serious he contemplated. Because he said, basically, I would... He's holding up the 0 or 3 fingers. I can't tell.
No, that's a 0.
Okay.
if it was...
Either that or he was doing the OK sign. It's one of them.
No. If this was back in the day, he would have went straight to high school, from high school.
Okay. Yeah, he also has a big enough body where he can do that.
Listen, this is going to sound ridiculous. As a Knicks fan, I don't want if they get the first pick, I don't want Zion Williams to go first.
Oh, you've said this before. You've said it before.
I don't think his game's going to translate to the NBA.
You don't think so?
You can't find someone comparable in the NBA to him.
Charles Barkley?
No.
because he was stronger than him.
Charles Barkley was faster. Charles Barkley could dribble. Charles Barkley could shoot. Charles Barkley was a great rebounder and a great scorer. Zion Williams is an athletic freak. That's all he is. He's not a good shooter. He jumps really well, but now you're going up against
you're
somebody
you're going against other guys who can do that. Even bench players can jump like a son of a bitch.
Yeah. So I don't think his game translates as well to the NBA.
It could, but
absolutely.
But I've even stated I didn't think he was the number one prospect on his own team.
He wasn't.
Wise, yeah, no. R.J. Barrett.
He is now.
I still think
R.J. Barrett's got to shoot better. I don't want the Knicks to take R.J. Barrett neither. I'm a Ja Morant fan. I love that kid. A backcourt with him and Dennis Mitchell, and then they signed KD and Klay Thompson. You tell me that's not a instant playoff team?
Well, in the East it is.
That's a playoff team in any league division.
Oh yeah. Well, technically, I guess not, because look at what you said for the whole season, that they were LeBron and them were still going to make it to the.
Well, LeBron didn't have another star. KD and Klay Thompson are both stars.
Lonzo?
Well, I think if he doesn't get hurt and plays.
Ingram wasn't there all the time, and neither was Kuzma.
But I think
Kuzma was the healthiest out of those three.
If
I remember,
we were way off topic as usual already, and we're only 6 minutes in.
Yeah, 6:44 to be exact.
Sondon, Durant is the priority.
Yeah,
but I think they leave Kyrie alone. I would go more towards Kemba Walker, or you bring Kemba home. I would love to see Kemba at home, or push it to the left a little bit and sign a
Carmelo Anthony.
No. Hoodie Mello. Sign a Klay Thompson, or a lower one, Tobias Harris. And you put him with the front court they have now, and you draft Ja Morant, or you even trade back, and pick up a future first round pick, and
or a player now, or a.
No, I'd take the pick.
Okay.
You trade back. I don't want them to trade out of the lottery. If they get number 1, you trade back to number 5.
Oh, okay.
Take a Cam
Somebody
Reddish.
who's trying to jump up to get Zion.
Yeah, you take a Cam or RJ.
What if they do what San Francisco did to the Bears? Going.
I don't think you do in the NBA. It doesn't work.
No. But let's just say let's say they have the number 1 pick and Phoenix has the number 2. I'm just going with 2 of the lower teams. And let's say Phoenix is like, shit, we really want Zion, and we want to make sure we get Zion.
Just looking at Phoenix's team, I don't think they would.
No, but I'm just as an example. I'm just using it as an example.
Insert team here.
Yeah. Because I know that they're basement dwellers too. So let's just say they're like, shit, we really want him. We'll flip you picks, but plus we'll also give you next year's first round pick too.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Would you take that?
Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't think they would give him next round, first round pick. Oh, it will be protected.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah, something like that. That's exactly what I mean.
Yeah, because
you trade back to get another.
And
first round pick.
Even if you get like a bench player or something, you're getting.
No, I mean, they can't take on contract.
True.
They actually.
Yeah, but a bench player, some of the bench players,
they can't take. They got to renounce the rights of a couple players right now to sign 2 maxes. I was reading an article on Bleacher Report.
I was going to say I could actually go to that site that I have that has all the contracts and stuff on it.
I was reading on Bleacher Report. They would have to renounce the rights of 2 players, I think. I don't remember who it was.
Yeah,
but it wasn't like... Because Kevin Knox is on his rookie deal.
I was going to say, that's at least one thing. You have a couple of guys still on low-level contracts who are productive
Mitch
players.
Robinson.
Dennis Smith Jr. is still on that, too,
He's on his rookie deal.
Yeah.
This is only his second year.
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean. You have decent players that have...
Hence, making a Porzingis trade was a better trade than most people give it credit for right now.
So,
but it all depends on what they do this offseason. If they come up short up short on all of the top 7 players, I don't even think there's 7 top tier. I think it's 5. If they don't get any of the 5, and Kyrie can't be one of the 5 you get, and only Kyrie. Kyrie doesn't make you a better team.
Like you guys would. Here, I'm looking at this here. You have, for your exceptions for this season, you had Hazonia and Mitchell Robinson as your non.
You have to re-sign Mitchell Robinson.
No, but those are like the.
Oh, I know what you're saying. I'm just saying.
No, I'm going through. I'm going from.
As a basketball fan, as a Knicks fan, just as a basketball player.
Your dead cap money is just crazy.
I wonder where that's from.
You have $18.6 million in Wesley Matthews, $18.6 million in Enos Cantor, $18.5 million in Joakim Noah, and $4.5 million on Ron Baker.
3 of those are coming off the books, though.
No, but that's a good thing.
Yeah, that's why they made the trade for Wes Matthews and it wasn't a player. They got Dennis Smith Jr. back, and it was like,
just between those 4 players, and I'm even throwing Ron Baker in there just because he's in that list. I'm looking at this right now. Mathematically, that is 49% of your cap.
They need $73.3 million. I think it said something like that.
But that just there alone.
But
of your debt.
Noah will be on the books again next year. I think he's the only one.
He's the only one that's going to still be there?
If I'm not mistaken.
Because
I'm not 100% sure.
I can actually go right to that now because it'll actually have it for next year, too.
Because I think they stretched him.
So let's see. People on the books next year. Yeah, you'll still have... But it's only $6.4 million.
Because they stretched him over the next 3.
Yeah. They stretched him out. That sounds so bad.
In my tiredness, it just made me giggle.
So the people that are considered cap holds next year because they could be pending free agents, blah blah blah. DeAndre, Emmanuel Mudiay, the Hazonia, Luke Cornett, Billy Garrett, Noah Vonleh, and there's nobody else for that. So the guys under contract still technically: Lance Thomas, Frank Ntilikina, Dennis Smith Jr., Kevin Knox, Alonzo Trier, Henry Ellison, Mitchell Robinson, and Damian Dotson.
Ntilikina is being shopped, and somebody else.
And Ntilikina's still cheap. He's on a rookie deal too.
Yeah, but they're shopping him. I think they moved on from him. I hated that pick when they drafted him.
You said that. But...
I hated that pick. I was like, really? Are you fucking kidding me?
Your dead cap money of Noah is technically the second highest paid person on the team. Other than, the DeAndre. People who could come back, like DeAndre and those guys.
Oh, I think he's going to re-up.
Christ, his cap figure is $27 million.
Yeah, he might be able to get that on the open market. He's still viable.
Well, he's a double guy. He's not gonna put up a shitload of points, but he'll get you 15 and 12 daily.
Well, he'll get you 12 and 15.
Yeah. Well, still,
and
3
blocks.
Yeah, and a steal and a couple assists too. Yeah.
So I think he'll be back, and that's not a bad comebacker.
No, he's honestly, if he's your third, fourth best guy on the team, you're not doing that bad.
If he's your fourth best guy, you got a pretty good team.
Oh yeah.
With all that being said, if they don't get KD, this offseason's a failure. They can't get 2 other players. If KD isn't one of them, it doesn't matter what 2 they get. This offseason's a failure.
So, actually, let's spin that now to another team that I talked about. We're way off of what I have written here, but still.
Fuck it.
Going to the Lakers now, with Magic stepping down.
That's funny.
Them getting rid of Luke Walton.
That's funny.
What do you think is going to happen there? Because I can go to their books, too.
They got max money to sign, too.
They do, yes. But it's... Like, what was your thoughts, and we didn't get to talk about it, what was your thoughts on the whole Magic just basically quitting without letting anybody know?
It's Magic being Magic.
That's true.
You know what? I don't want to say I saw it coming, but I was like, oh, okay. It wasn't a surprise as much as I think it could have been or should have been.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like, I didn't really see him as doing much while he was there. Like, I don't think he got LeBron to sign. I think LeBron was already going to sign with LA.
Yeah.
So I don't think he really did anything to do that, and he didn't bring anybody else in.
I was going to say, who did he bring in? Rondo.
He brought in a bunch of 1-year contracts.
Yeah.
Rondo, Michael Beasley, the crazy dude.
Lance Stevenson.
Yep, him too.
Tyson Chandler.
Well, he was a trade.
JaVale McGee.
JaVale McGee is what I was thinking.
Reggie Bullock.
Yeah, a bunch of 1-year deals.
Yeah. So looking at for next year, you've got LeBron with his $37 million, which is 30% of the cap space. Lonzo, who's still under his rookie deal. Ingram still under his rookie deal. Kyle Kuzma still under his rookie deal. Mortiz Wagner is still under his rookie deal, which is funny because Wagner's making more than Kuzma in the rookie deal.
High drafted.
But still, Kuzma's a much better player, though.
Kuzma's the second best player out of that bunch so far.
Josh Hart,
Rookie deal.
Yep, still on it. And then you have a minimum contract signee of Jamario Jones and Isaac Bonga.
Who's KCP?
He is coming off the books.
Oh, yeah,
he's the cap hold. He's 15.6. Yep. Then you had Rondo, who was 10 this year. You had Mike Muscala, Lance Stevenson, Reggie Bullock, Tyson Chandler, JaVale McGee. And your dead cap money for them next year is $5 million.
That stretched him out too.
Oh yeah, they stretched him good. That sounds so bad.
Yeah, it sounds like.
Anyway, that sounds that sounds like a normal nautical podcast.
It sounds like we're both running on fumes.
With my work schedule, I'm on fumes regardless, and then with personal stuff on top of it, it's just
like I told you with my work stuff going right now and all the training. Like I said, I got more training again tomorrow.
Yay! Hooray for training!
You know when I found out I had this training?
Friday.
Today when I was punching out.
Nice. Nice.
Like, oh yeah, no, so I need to sit down and talk with you tomorrow. It's like, oh, you got training tomorrow.
So as of right now, I'm looking at what it says over here. Potential cap space for the Lakers is $41.7 million. Potential. Bing, bing, bing. With the quote.
I think they're going all in on AD.
Well, I think they are too. And your boys' potential cap space is 72.9.
They need 3.
So if they got rid of Ntilikina, like you said, that's almost $5 million right there. That's 4.85.
Him and somebody else. Well, no. Then they need 77 million. Because he was one of them, and somebody else was one of them.
It has to be like one of the other guys, like Henry Ellison.
Yeah, maybe.
Damian Dotson, Mitchell Robinson. It's got to be one of them because they're only making 1.5, 1.6, 1.6.
It was him and somebody else. I can't remember.
Not in any particular order.
But it was like they had to renounce, and they can't renounce Mitchell Robinson. But that kid's going to be a star. Not a star. He's going to be really good.
It's probably Alonzo Trier. Or Trier, how do you pronounce this?
Nope.
Because, no, he's his non-guaranteed, so they can actually get rid of his.
But they like him. They just gave him a new contract.
But his isn't guaranteed. So technically, if they wanted to rescind it, they technically could. Because his is actually highlighted in a different color, and I go, what does that mean? And I clicked on it, and it says non-guaranteed club.
I think they'll keep him. I think it was Dodson. Maybe it was Dodson.
Dotson would give you 1.6.
Maybe somebody, I don't remember. But
the three guys I said, other than Trier, were 1.6, 1.61, 1.64, 1.61, and 1.55.
I would take that.
Yeah, I would take that too. Christ, I take that $300,000, $350,000 practice squad money in football.
I take $13 right now.
Yeah, so would I. I get my first full paycheck coming up this week, so I'm so fucking happy. I'm broke too, but we're both broke as a joke. Yay!
Broke and tired. Not a good combination. Actually, it's not a bad combination. Because we're tired, we won't be out doing anything bad.
Except for working. We're getting so lazy with our noises on that.
You can get lazy.
Oh, it's either that or we're getting way too into it because now we have like 78 noises that come out.
When a woman and they just lay there for sex, that's the type of mood I'm going to be like, whatever. Just finish and get off. Just hurry up so I can go to sleep.
So, back to what we originally were talking about 15 minutes ago.
The moon landing.
We're now at 19 minutes into the show. Thank you guys for listening, by the way.
Gracias, amigas.
So you think it's pretty much it's pretty much the anomaly, or no, that some of those upsets happen, like Denver and that.
Denver's the most overrated team.
The Spurs beat them. Portland beat OKC. Houston beat Utah. Golden State beat the Clippers. Milwaukee absolutely dismantled Detroit. They had 100 points in the third.
Well,
Boston, doing that low-scoring barn burner, beat the Pacers.
I didn't watch 1 second of that game. I was out.
And then Brooklyn beat the Sixers.
Well, I told you.
And Orlando, that was the one you said was the upset. Orlando beating Toronto.
Yes.
Because Kyle Lowry's not going to get 0 points again. That's the first part of that.
He might.
I know. I mean, statistically he sucks in the playoffs, but he's not 0 points suck.
He was still plus 11. The team was plus 11 with him on the floor.
Yeah, but when you're supposed to be the second best player on the team and you get 0, that's not good.
Well,
you and I scored the same amount of points as him.
counting stats don't really show how the game was. I watched the game. Him not scoring wasn't the reason they lost the game.
No, but wasn't he 0 for 11 or something like that on his shooting?
He was 0 for a lot.
Yeah.
But watching the game, that wasn't the reason.
I only caught bits and pieces working.
I watched most. I don't watch most of it. I watched some.
I only caught bits and pieces.
But like the Florida game, he wasn't the reason they lost. I was going somewhere and I totally forgot.
Was it the reason they lost, Kyle Lowry?
No, before fuck it.
This show is loaded with enthusiasm today.
Ladies and gentlemen. My body is beat.
Yes, but your body.
It's coming.
Shout out to R. Kelly.
I'm with it. I don't have enough energy to object.
All right, so let's do this. Out of those teams who lost, which team, or out of the upset teams, let's go with Toronto was upset, Philly was upset, Denver was upset. Which one is in the least amount of trouble
Toronto.
out of them? Which one's in the most?
Philly.
Is the Philly one just because of Embiid?
Yep.
Or, okay.
Because without Embiid, they're an equally matched team.
Let's say Embiid, again, is that 50-50. He still plays, but it's going to get worse if you think about it. Because if they're that precautionary with him, even with the little bit of practice that they do during the playoffs, let's say that they win a couple games and he still has to keep playing and it just makes it worse and worse and worse. Then they make it to the next round and they play Toronto or Orlando. If they play Orlando, I think they're okay. But
I got Toronto and Milwaukee in the finals, so I did that.
it was the Eastern Conference.
Yeah,
Finals,
so.
Yeah. No. I have that too because as much as I love my Celtics, they are not going to beat Milwaukee. Did you just break that?
No.
Oh, good job.
Shut your face. Shut your face, Grandma.
CD is so powerful, he broke handcuffs.
These are my kinky handcuffs.
Angry black man. Me just saying that cops show up. Black man broke handcuffs? What? Sprinkle some crack on him, Johnson.
They're the furry ones.
Sprinkle some
crack on them.
Good job, Johnson.
We always get Dave Chappelle in.
We always get one.
We should be sponsored by Dave Chappelle.
We should be. We get one Chappelle reference per show.
How can you not?
We probably average 1.5. Actually.
He might be the funniest comedian in the history of comedians.
Up and when he was gone for the longest time, I had to actually replace him because I'm like, there's no new shit. It's like I want new shit.
I didn't replace him.
There was a guy who kept coming up with new specials, and I laughed the entire fucking time. So I was just like, all right, he's taking the mantle.
It might have been he was my favorite at the time, but
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle's my favorite comedian of all time.
Yeah, he's my favorite of all time. But current active roster ones, I would say, was Jim Jeffries. Now that Chappelle's
He's okay.
back, he had one joke that when you listen to it, it's funny throughout the whole thing. It's a story, but it's a joke at the end. I never laugh so hard at a joke because you're invested in the story of the joke.
I mean, you got 8 minutes waiting for the punchline.
8 minutes is not. It's 23 minutes, something like that. The entire length of with jokes bit in there. It's part of an hour special.
I ain't got that much time in my life to do anything anymore.
But it's during an hour special, and oh my god!
I see Kevin Hart got a new special.
Kevin Hart always has a new something.
That's a shit.
Whether it's a movie, a show on Netflix.
I just happened to watch. Was scrolling through Netflix.
He's got his own channel on freaking Sirius XM.
Does he now?
Yeah, at the end of last year he got one.
I don't know if I had Sirius.
Kevin Hart's Laugh Out Loud Radio.
What does he think? Jamie Foxx?
I don't know. And then there's actually I think it might have took over for the Foxhole.
Foxhole's no more?
I don't have it programmed in anymore, but I haven't heard it. I used to hear commercials for it. I don't anymore. Actually, Netflix now has one called Netflix is a Joke. All their specials that they have and ones that aren't released yet.
Nice.
They actually have that just debuted today. Today was the debut of it.
I haven't had Sirius and God knows how long.
Mine's under a yearly thing, so thankfully I haven't had to pay for it. It was already paid for.
Oh, from your car?
Yeah. And because I paid the extra few bucks, I get it. Like I can listen to it on my computer or on my phone too. So when I'm at work, like last year during the World Series, when I was working that one night when that game went to 3:30 in the morning, I listened to the whole thing. Like when I would go draw a patient, I just turned it down to the lowest volume. Because if I turned it all the way down, it pauses it. So I would have it on like the number 1 volume instead of like the 10. I'd have it on 1 so it would stay active. So all I have to do is, as I'm walking back to the elevator, I'd turn it back up.
Makes sense.
I was like, hey, Dodgers in the World Series. I don't care how I'm listening. If I can't watch it, I'm listening.
It has been replaced with Kevin Hart.
I thought so. So they went from one famous person to another. It's just Jamie Foxx doesn't do too much, except for terrible movies that bomb, like Robin Hood.
He does good movies too.
Yeah, but that was his latest one, and remember that was one of the big box office bombs. We talked about it. And it had made like $8 million, and it was like in its 3rd week out.
Last movie I saw with Jamie Foxx was
Booty Call.
Baby Driver.
Booty Call.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
I love Booty
underrated
Call.
movie.
That and back in that day, Vivica. Oof, man, was she hot back then?
She still is hot.
Yeah, but back then, oh Lord, indeed.
I love Jamie. Jamie's one of my top 5 entertainers of all time.
I've loved ever since I saw him in Living Color years ago, like with him, Jim Carrey, Tommy Davidson, David Allen Greer, the Wayans brothers. It's like
the Wayans brothers, which said
and sister.
87 of them fuckers.
I hear she got more kids. Like, don't be mad. I hear she got more kids than the Wayans. Damn.
Because there's the whole new young crop is coming
Dashiki.
up. It's like Damien and Shantae. I'm like, what? These motherfuckers don't. They keep it in the family.
They really do, and they make money that way.
I ain't mad at them.
White chicks.
It's underratedly good too.
Terry Crews.
All right, go. I'm sorry.
We are way off the rails here at Not a Clue Podcast, but would you expect anything less? Our normal, regular listeners, people on iTunes who still download us, thank you so much for A, and B, you endure this, so thank you so much. As we religiously get downloads from iTunes, so.
And I'm gonna say it's not me because I don't know my iTunes password.
Honestly, I only have it because I'm the creator of the account. That's the only reason I have it. And
I
I get statistics every once in a while saying, "Hey, you have 5 new downloads." Oh, thank you. Thank you, 5 people who downloaded us this week.
I got
appreciate it.
I don't know, 5,000 songs on iTunes.
Somebody rated us on there, and I can't access it. So
good job.
Whoever rated it, thank you. I don't even. You could have given us a 0. I don't.
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
You rated us. We got a rating. Woo! But back to what we're talking about. So out of all of these series that here for the playoffs, the teams other than your superstars on these teams, like we can discount Golden State because you literally can throw a dart on the court and you'll find an all-star. Like, so we're discounting them. So other than the normal all-stars, what 1 or 2 players on each of these teams has to step up to either keep the lead or make it a series or actually come back to win? So what about?
And I think you can discount the all-stars. This is the time where
they're supposed to shine.
All-star.
Yes, but this is also where you really need to rely on the role players.
No, because you cut your bench. You're not really like most teams. They have a 7-man bench now. Not 7-man bench.
7-man rotation.
7-man rotation
with an 8th person, just in case there's more fouls.
Possibly an injury, but this is time when you really your stars have to be stars.
Okay, so
in the NBA, it's a little different than baseball. Like a role player, like a Craig Counsell or Scooter Gennett. Oh God, what's David Eckert? No,
David Eckstein.
Eckstein. This is when they can become
David Freese.
Yes,
who's still playing. He's on the Dodgers. He just hit a home run.
Oh, shit.
He's got like 2 already this
year.
It's
like, wow. But with baseball, I mean, basketball, I think it's more like I don't think you're going to have a role player step up as opposed to a role player having a decent half.
Yeah.
Or a decent quarter. So I don't know if you can separate your star players.
Okay,
from
well then let's do it that way then. Again, minus Golden State because there are way too many
I think it's only
fish in that barrel.
It's only 2 factors on that team. KD or Steph get hurt, They're a different team.
Yeah, or suspended because
this will be a one
because
game
there's that. Yeah, but still, look at what happened.
I think
before.
they can spare one game unless it's in the Western Conference.
But that's when basically by the time it gets there.
I think KD's smart enough not to be.
I mean, he's only 5 to go. That's it.
Yes, I think he's smart enough.
Yeah, but the way that he went this year, that's 10 games.
I think he'll be all right.
All right. You get to the 10-game mark. If they win every game, guess where that is?
And I think he'll be all right.
Okay. Excuse me. So, okay, let's go the Clippers then. Lou?
Yeah, no chance.
Yeah, but Lou? Montrez?
It doesn't matter. Like, they would need Blake Griffin to come back with DeAndre Jordan, and CP3 to have a shot. They have zero shot.
Rick Barry? You gonna throw him out there too?
Possibly him and his granny free
Jerry
throws.
West.
I legitimately think they have less than
Get
zero.
Doc out of the coaching.
They have 0% chance. Like, I'll give every other team a minuscule chance.
Even what you're not even giving. Yeah,
they have 0%.
I think statistically they had a 1% chance.
That's
statistically
1% too much.
Because you always have the chance, but
they don't have a chance.
But
I think even if they lost Steph or
KD,
they would still sweep them.
Okay, so let's go to the next one then. How about the Rockets and Jazz?
Donovan Mitchell's got to play better. He didn't play very well.
What about Rudy Gobert?
He did what he does.
Hey, what, 15? He got 15-10?
Something. He had
15-11? If I remember.
He's a rimper type.
I don't have the stats in front of me. I'm literally going off of pure memory.
It falls on Donovan Mitchell's shoulders.
Yes, it does. It really does. Like, for Houston, they have James Harden, which, honestly, no offense to CP3 or Clint Capella, it falls on his shoulders. Because that team made it that way also. Like, they constructed themselves this way. Mm-hmm. That is the team that is going to live and die by the 3 more than any other team.
I don't think it falls on. I think it's CP3 in the playoffs for Houston.
Yeah,
because I think you know what you're going to get from James Harden.
Yeah,
CP3.
But they're also
CP3 is
they're also a live and die by the 3 team.
Mm-hmm. I don't think
that's you.
Yeah. I don't think they'll go 0 for 27 or whatever again this year though.
But that's a team that could though.
No, I don't think so.
You think that was?
It depends on if
there's a phone right here too. I didn't even notice that.
If it depends on if CP3 is playing, he's smart enough not to get him in a different offense. Yeah. Than to just keep chucking threes.
Okay.
That's I think he's the most important player on that team.
Okay.
Not the best, not by far.
No. I did say I said most important.
CP3 is the most important player on that team.
So you're following the guidelines. Good
of
job.
Course I am.
Portland and OKC. Portland's up 1-0.
Paul George. Playoff P.
I minus that nickname. I agree completely.
Actually, nickname isn't a bad nickname.
Yeah, but I don't.
He's only had one bad playoff game.
Yeah, but it's a terrible nickname, though.
I love it. It's not like he's had a bad playoff.
Yeah, but you didn't like it when it first came out.
Well, I don't like someone nicknaming themselves.
Yeah, you mocked it too.
Oh yeah, but I like the nickname. I'm still
gonna mock the shit out of it.
If someone gives it to him, I think it's better. You can't nickname yourself.
Like, well.
Unless you're Kobe, because the Black Mamba's dope. Or
AK-47.
Well, he didn't nickname him.
No. Still, best nickname. Hands down.
I don't know.
The fact that people still didn't put it on the best nickname list.
No, they're just.
It drives me nuts.
Air Jordan did.
I wish I could still remember that Twitter name.
The Rain Man didn't make it. So
there's
half man, half Mason. So, I digress. It's got to be Paul George. He's the best player on that team.
Yeah. What about like Portland? Would you say Dame or would you give it to like CJ or Enes Kanter?
Well, it depends. Well, he had 18 and 20 and 18.
He had a really good game, but notice I couldn't keep a straight face.
If they play all Dame and
I'm a fan of Kanter.
All Dame and CJ's got to do is play like they played.
Yeah.
Like I think it falls down to Paul George. He's the deciding factor in that series. If he plays like he played in the first 3 quarters of the season, OKC wins.
Well, if Nurkic or however you pronounce his name didn't get hurt, I think this series
matters.
Yeah, but that I think changes the dynamic of them a little bit.
I don't think it changes it enough for me to. I still would have. It depends on what Paul George shows up though.
Okay.
If MVP candidate from 3 quarters of the season shows up,
yeah,
I got them in 5 games. Nurkic or not. Nurkic or not.
I butcher his name every time. Even though it's like 6 letters long, I still...
You suck Nurkic.
Yes, I suck Nurkic.
You do.
I suck nerd dick. That's what it is.
Nice. I think if Paul George plays like he did again the first 3 quarters of the season, they walk away with this series.
Next one. The Spurs are up over Denver 1-0. Going into tonight. There's games tonight, but...
That series, the Spurs aren't as bad as their record, and I don't think Denver's as good as their record.
You almost took the words out of my mouth, and just with that one certain person on the side...
They're a year early. That's all it is.
One person on the sideline makes a huge difference as well, too.
Agreed.
Pop.
Well, they also have 2 legitimate superstars.
Oh, they
do.
do.
Not superstars, but 2 legitimate perennial all-stars.
Yeah, they do. But Pop, he makes it. He's like Belichick.
He's a great coach.
He makes a difference.
He's a great coach.
A gargantuan difference. And
he's the best coach in the league right now.
Him and Brad Stevens.
No, I don't think it's. I don't think it's 1 and 1A. I think it's 1 and 2.
Oh, so you for the longest time had Stevens as number 1.
Well, because it was one of those. It wasn't. It was more of Pop's still coaching type thing. It wasn't he's better than Pop. It was more like Pop's been doing this for 70 years. I kind of
give or take a couple.
I kind of forgot about him.
Well, it's like when you have coaches in the league for like Marvin Lewis. People, even though people talked about him, you forgot he was really there.
Yeah, that's it. It wasn't. I'm not saying Brad Stevens is not a good coach.
Well,
he's a great coach.
Also, at the same time, I don't want to throw Marvin Lewis in the same category as a great Popovich. But you get my point.
Or even a Brad Stevens.
Yeah. But you get my point.
Yep. So I did say Brad Stevens was the best coach, but it was more of a neglectfulness.
I do also believe you said right now. It wasn't like general. It was because
it was still a neglectfulness of Pop.
I remember us saying Pop, but you were like just looking at the team. He's doing a better job coaching this year. It flipped though. This year, Pop did a better job because he didn't have the.
Being the best coach and best coaching, I think it's 2 different things.
Okay, maybe that's what you meant.
I think if you flip them, Popovich gets more out of Boston.
Yeah,
but Brad Stevens also gets more out of San Antonio.
Okay,
but I think Popovich, if I got one game to coach, I'm picking Pop.
But I don't think you can go either. You go bad either way with one of those.
I think if you don't pick Pop, you're going bad.
No, but I mean, let's say Pop wasn't the one you could get. It was one of those 2, but one of them already was taken. So if you had, say you had the second pick in the coach draft.
I'm mad.
Okay.
I'm mad that I didn't get Pop.
Okay, but if Pop goes 1, you really can't. It's not a bad.
I'm
choice
trading back. I'm trading back to get Steve Kerr.
Sure. Yeah, but he might even go like 4th.
I'm trading back. Listen, I'll trade back to get Steve.
Okay. All right. So the next one.
Fucking coach draft.
The race draft? What do you want?
Chappelle.
Well, Tiger did just win. Full shizzle.
Listen, but from now on, every time a Chappelle joke comes up, I'm Chappelle in
it. I gotta have one of the buttons like
a Chappelle counter.
Should I do like the laugh track or something?
No, that laugh track's horrible.
The gunshot?
No, I'm just gonna scream Chappelle.
Okay. That's picture take?
Chappelle. That's all I'm gonna do.
I just wanted to hit that picture take button. But, okay, next one. Milwaukee 1-0 over Detroit, and Blake Griffin now is out for their entire series. They scored 100 points in the first 3 quarters.
Listen, even without Blake, they got a 1% chance. I don't want to give them the same
thing
as Golden State.
You're giving them at least a smidge of hope.
No. I'm giving them a .0000002. 0.0000001%.
That's still better than the absolute 0 that you gave.
Yes. And I only did that because you got to give Golden State their respect as defending champ. But Giannis is so unguardable.
He jumped on the freaking free throw line on a fast break.
In the game. Listen, that guy is so unguardable.
Did you see his reaction when they showed it to him? He's like, I took off from the free throw line? Really?
Exactly.
They're like, yeah, the back of your foot was on the edge of the free throw line. Oh, really? Can I see it?
I'm unguardable.
Yeah. When he's going up the court, like, I'm effing unguardable.
You can do that in
the middle of a game when you're already up by a zillion points.
I think he's the most unstoppable player in the NBA right now.
He's
and you can't. No one can argue that with me. You want to argue that, we can fight, because I won't, not fist fight, but
TJ McConnell.
Okay, number 2. White Dante.
DiVincenzo.
As Bomani would say, White Dante.
DiVincenzo. He is on that team, but he's hurt.
Amazing.
Next series. Celtics up 1-0 over the Pacers.
You know what? I can't really say anything. I didn't watch 1 second of that game.
The Pacers game?
I didn't. I forgot they were playing.
It was on during the Masters.
I was out. We took Solera.
I when that ended, I was like, oh shit, Celtics are on, and I went to this. I was that captivated. Like, I'm sitting here not sleeping. I hadn't slept. I had been watching it. I got to the 11th hole.
Sorry.
Why do
okay.
you keep coming up and down?
I got to the 11th hole.
Mom told me to come get my hair.
I got to the 11th hole, and I took a quick snooze. And woke up on the 17th hole, and I was like, shit, he's in the lead!
I was watching it. I woke up, and that's the first thing I did was turn it on. I think I cut it on. It was the 4th hole.
I was live tweeting during the first few holes, then fell asleep.
I was watching it, and we took a little bit to one of the Easter egg hunts. Take Bella, please.
Bella.
We took a little bit to one of the Easter egg hunts. By the time we got, because we had to run the Messina also, by the time we got back, I had already gotten an update that he won, but I ended up watching a replay of it anyway.
Well, they showed it right afterwards because it was so early. They had the time allotment for it.
So I watched it. It's amazing.
It was good to see, but we'll talk about that in a minute.
Miawa.
So who would you
Yeah.
have the for player wise in that Celtics game?
I have no idea. I didn't I honestly I don't know who played, how they played, and who played. How well did anybody play, or how bad did anybody from Indiana play?
Celtics had 6 players in double figures. Boban? No, not Boban. What the hell? Bogdan.
Bogdan Bogdanovic.
Yeah, him. He was the leading scorer for the Pacers, and he only had like 17.
Miles Turner did? I don't know.
But
Nicole Oladipo needs to come back. That's the shot they got. I'm not trying to avoid. I honestly I forgot that they were playing the first game.
That's all right.
I was again captivated by the Masters, and we took a little bit out. By the time we got back, the game was. I had gotten an update. I was like, oh shit! Oh yeah, they did play.
All right, the next series. Well, I think we actually kind of already talked about this. Nets 1-0 over
Oh,
the
Joel
Sixers.
Embiid.
Okay. Especially health-wise.
Yeah,
really.
Joel Embiid.
Okay.
He changes the whole landscape of the Eastern Conference if he's healthy.
Oh, you say the entire Eastern Conference?
If he's healthy, not if he's 80%, 90%. If he's healthy,
Well, look at it this way: if they don't rest him and he keeps fighting it, it's going to get worse. Technically.
well, everyone's got a little injury.
Yeah,
or
but
whatever now.
look at all the other times he's had injuries, slight injuries, and it gets worse. He has to take a day or two off to recuperate on it. So if they give him an extra day off in between these 700 days off that they get at some points during these playoffs,
If he's 100% healthy, it changes the narrative. I
Oh,
still got
absolutely.
Milwaukee, Toronto in the finals,
yeah,
but I wouldn't be surprised if
in the Eastern Conference Finals.
yes, I wouldn't be surprised if Philly jumped in there.
Okay.
But I got Milwaukee in the finals anyway. So
Brandon, I know, was very happy about Orlando
sure he
winning.
is.
And this next one, Orlando 1-0 over Toronto.
it's got to be Kyle Lowry.
Lowry.
Kyle Lowry.
Well, like I said, he can't score 0 points.
I think he can. It just depends on how he goes about it.
But if he
if he
scored
shoot-
any points, though, they would have won.
Not necessarily.
Oh, because it would have took away from other people. Is that what you're-
Yes, well, if he comes out and he doesn't score, but he has 12 assists and 8 rebounds and 4 steals, something like that, like he can't go 0 for. If he goes 0 for 5, but he's affecting the game every place else.
Yeah, but I'm going to throw a comparison out there that technically should really be a comparison, but like Rondo, if he doesn't shoot so well, I mean, he got better over the years, but like in the playoffs, they would still even back off of it, but still not as much. If Kyle Lowry is shooting and not making it, and they back off him, and he still doesn't make anything,
I don't think that you can back off because he's a proven shooter. He's a proven scorer. You can't back off. That's what I mean.
No,
There's a difference.
No, but if he's getting the same production you could have got out of a Rondo, like I said, it's a comparison I'm trying to use because Rondo would get you 0 points but 12 assists and a couple rebounds.
I think it's a different type of player, though. Like, Rondo's 12 assists are forced assists. I think Kyle Lowry gets his in the flow of the game.
Because he he's got that shooting ability where his penetration
Yes,
will conduct it.
You have to run out at him.
Yeah.
Which means he can drive by you, and then which collapse the defense, which allows you to kick out. A lot of times you didn't have to collapse the defense on Rondo. You didn't want to leave him. You would collapse.
Okay, here's a better comparison then. It's technically still not a better comparison now that I literally just said that out loud.
It's a better comparison, but it's not a better comparison.
Ben Simmons. Because he has the drive ability where you can't.
But you don't have to collapse. It's a difference though, because Ben Simmons will take it over the top.
No, but
Kyle Lowry's not going over the top.
No, but that's why it's kind of like it counterbalances how I mean. Like you still have to converge when he drives, but you don't. You can literally be like LeBron being out of bounds talking to three people while Ben Simmons is at the top of the key and he stopped his dribble.
I don't understand what you're saying.
I'm saying that Ben Simmons, because of his drive ability, and he can score that way, unlike a Rondo who can't really score that way. I'm trying to get a better comparison than Rondo toward the Lowry situation.
I don't think.
Because Lowry can drive, and they have to converge because he
but
can still.
You don't have to converge on Ben Simmons. Like you don't have to. The defense doesn't have to suck in on Ben Simmons.
Yeah.
You still have. I think you would still have to suck in on the Kyle Lowry.
Okay, you still okay.
Just because
that's why I said it wasn't like the greatest comparison.
Even
but
if
it was a little better because you do have.
I think the Rondo comparison was better.
Oh, what, really?
Yeah, just because Ben Simmons is 6'10", and he'll jump from the dotted line and put somebody on a poster,
or he'll fall down doing it.
and you can foul Ben Simmons. He's 60-something%, 63-something.
I technically could look that up.
It's not that far. But Kyle Lowry's a good free throw shooter, so you're not going to file.
Yeah, just file it away.
File him away.
Just file him away.
Just file him away.
That's fine.
I don't think he will score 0 again.
Yeah.
But I don't think his 0 is as significant as
like if a Kawhi had a 0.
Yeah. Oh, if he has a 0, they're going to get blown out.
If Kawhi they lost by 48. They lost the way the Pistons lost.
They're going to get destroyed. Like, because look at the score of the game. It's not he scored 0 and they lost by 3 on a 3 at the end.
Yeah.
So it's not.
How about that though? DJ Augustine just coming back.
DJ Augustine he's one of those. Oh shit, he's still in the league.
You're like, oh yeah, he really is playing. Holy shit! I forgot about that man. It's true. No. Like he was available all year in our league. Like it was one of those things where he's there. His points and totals are not.
You can have.
But he hit like 17 in the first half or quarter or whatever the hell it was.
Fred Van Fleet.
All right, so one other topic of basketball. We grazed over it earlier. Luke Walton leaving or getting fired, but then getting immediately hired by the Kings. Which side of the fence was that a better move for? The LeBron side or the King side? And did you see?
The only person that's a good move for is Luke Walton. He gets a coach up and coming
team. Yeah. Because my father, was like, so why did the Kings get him so quick if both teams didn't make the playoffs? I go, Dad, they have a younger coach who literally just got done playing basketball a couple years ago, who wasn't a terrible coach.
It's been a while.
Yeah, because he was a couple years.
3 years.
Yeah, 2-3 years in Golden State.
At least 7 years since he's been in the league.
But he was playing when some of these old time vets were.
Yeah.
Like, he was in after some of these old... Like, Vince Carter. Like, Vince Carter has come and gone 37 times.
Vince Carter will never leave.
He will eventually. But now Dirk is retired before him, and freaking Dwayne Wade is now officially retired.
Yep.
Which, actually, that was one thing I wanted to write down, but I never got
I think he's going to play again next year.
But I never got around to it. If you had to pick between those two, Dirk and Wade...
Dirk.
Which you say Dirk would have been better?
Dirk is better.
Okay. Then why is not every other person, almost every single person saying Dirk's not even close to Wade?
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's saying, oh, Dirk's just the inflated stat because look at the last couple seasons where he really didn't do much.
What the fuck did Wade do the last couple seasons?
He bounced around last year, and then this year he had a good year for a guy who has been in the league that long.
I think Dirk is one of the most underrated great players in the last 25 years.
Just look at his statistics. Great. We've gone over it how many times on the show because we're like, look, this man is atop this, and he kept going up over the last 2 years.
He has one of the most unstoppable shots in the history of the league.
The man's 8 feet tall
That one
with a
step-
37-foot wingspan.
Listen, he almost single-handedly destroyed the narrative of foreign players being soft. And he got a championship and an MVP.
Yes. Yeah. I thought we would have been on the opposite side here. We have actually in complete
And
agreement.
I'm not saying that like it's a huge gap.
No, it's not. It's
If
really
Dirk
not.
is number 12, Dwayne Wade's number 14.
Yeah, no. You know what? And we're pretty well close.
You know what I
there,
think
too.
it is? I think Dwayne Wade's higher. Dwayne Wade is regarded higher in his position than Dirk is. Like Dwayne Wade's the top 3 shooting guard of all time. Dirk's the top 5 power forward. That might be where it is, but overall player, I think Dirk was a better player.
Dirk was a hell of a
And I love Dwayne Wade. I think he's a all-time great. Also, I think he's maybe 4th or 5th best shooting guard of all time.
So if it were between those two in the I'm not saying this is going to happen. They're both probably getting in right off the bat when they're eligible.
Oh, they will.
But let's just by chance say only one gets in that season and the next one.
Dirk.
Okay. I was curious what your response was. Anybody listening, even if it's later on down the road, send us a message.
Dirk's counting stats are better. That's why
Some people say,
he's got 5 years more.
Some people would say Wade would end up being because he's got more rings, blah blah blah. Because when you're splitting the hair, but
I don't think you can split the hair though.
people listening right now, either live or on demand later on down the road, whether it's iTunes or blah blah blah. Even if it's a year from now and you're listening to this, send us a message on which one of those two you think, if you had that last spot eligible, which one would be the one you would choose over the other.
I understand
Wade
what you're
or
doing.
Dirk.
It's for the show, but if it came down to it, it would be somebody else that got left off.
Okay.
Because you can't take both
But
of them.
I'm
Sure.
using it as an example.
Oh, no, that's why I said I preface it. I know you're doing it for conversation.
Yeah.
But if
You have to sometimes do.
if it came down to that, then the Hall of Fame would be just absolute butt kiss.
It would be like baseball's Hall of Fame?
Not as bad. I think it would be even worse because you can just the eye test, the numbers, everything. You can look and say both of them are first ballot Hall of Famers.
Oh, God, absolutely.
So if they came out and said, "Well, we only have one more spot," then you guys are fine.
We're going to put Brian Scalabrine in instead.
He's not in yet. What the fuck? I'm never going to Springfield.
Actually, I think this is his 5th year out of the league, so he technically could be after this
I'm
year.
never going to Springfield if he's not in. He should have been. He should have been in the Hall of Fame while he was playing.
It's in Springfield. He's white enough where he actually has residency there. So pretty much the Red Mamba. He's got passes for there.
I'm starting the Twitter campaign. Let's get the Red Mamba in.
Actually, he's got a title, so technically he's in because every single championship team is in the Hall. Technically,
He needs to be in.
He
needs to be
he
in the Hall of Fame. We should change the logo to a redhead. Fuck has Jerry West done in the last 20 years?
you can go a little further than even 20.
Well, he helped build the
I was gonna say,
dynasties
yeah.
as an exec.
So technically, what would be him behind a desk instead of
With a pen.
yeah, or shaking someone's hand. Yeah, pointing from the wrap, pointing from the box suites.
God, we're idiots.
Although he's been sitting courtside
he should
with
sign,
Ballmer.
He should sign with the Lakers. He should be their new GM.
No, that's what's his face there.
Rob Pelinka.
Palinka. I almost called him.
I mean, not the GM, president of operations.
I almost called him Balinka.
Yes. Not as far all over. He's a bum.
Is that your phone ringing? It's not like it's vibrating. Anyway, so I'm glad that you answered the. Oh no, never mind. I just found out what it was. It was probably ending the cycle of the washer or something downstairs.
Oh, yeah.
So I heard the water and I was like, oh, that's what it was. So let's go to the Masters now. Let's talk about that really quick. What was your actual thought on Tiger actually winning?
Nice. Overdue.
The race draft can come back. Full shizzle.
I was gonna say something.
Okay, since you're trying to come up with something real quick, what about the coverage of him since then? Like today and last night, it was, he's back, he's this, he's that. Is he going to actually pass Jack? Let's see how
I don't think it's as unquestionable, as unfathomable as it was 3 weeks ago.
Or 2 years ago when he had all those surgeries.
I just think 3 weeks ago. Well, I don't want to say 3 days ago. That's short thinking, but 3 weeks ago, I don't think anybody was thinking he had a chance. I think after him showing what he did, and him coming from behind for the first time in a major win.
It was the first time he hadn't had a lead and he won for a major.
And
he's done it in a bunch of other tournaments, but never in a major.
I think it's not out of question.
One thing I can tell you is I actually tweeted about it under our page that PGA loved that leaderboard. Mm-hmm. That was full of name after name after name.
And that's kind of what I was thinking. I was like, wow, look at all the...
It is all top... It was 12 of the top 15 players finished in the top 20. It's
like, look at that.
That is and Tiger Woods. He's not even in that ranking. And Tiger Woods on top of it.
Tiger.
Yeah, but still, when you had the top 12 of the top 15 were there.
He's number 6 right now.
Because of
he flew up to number 6.
Yeah, well, when you win a major, that's what happens.
How good is this guy?
But it's
he spent, what was it, 181 weeks at number 1?
Yeah.
That's unfathomable.
Yeah, because they did something. I wish I could remember. They actually showed how many people were number 1 golfers and how many people have won tournaments since the last time he won a major. It's a terribly ridiculous total.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. Sorry.
It's ridiculous, but as you said, terribly ridiculous total.
But PGA loved that leaderboard. Like, their ratings were through the roof.
Anytime Tiger's in contention,
Tiger and Phil was just a few shots back too.
Phil drops the needle.
No. But he moves the needle a little bit. But Tiger, the needle will go to full.
He walks the needle. Tiger drives the needle.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and then you had like guys like Rory was there, and then all of a sudden like the third round he fizzled. But he was there initially. You had Dustin Johnson hanging in there. Bubba wasn't there.
He was there when he eagled 15.
But
he 2 shots back.
You had I can actually get to the leaderboard itself.
Oh no, he dropped out. I think he bogeyed 16 and 18. But after he eagled 15.
No, we're talking about Brooks Koepka?
No, Bubba Watson.
I don't remember Bubba being up there.
He wasn't up. Well, he was 2 holes up. 2 holes. All right, the way I'm saying it is, if he
here we go.
I think he finished 6. 6 or 8.
No, he's not even on this list. Like I said, he wasn't there. Bubba Watson's way down the list.
He shot a 8 under.
He was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18th.
8 under, right?
8 under, yeah.
It's because he bogeyed.
Yeah,
3 of the last 4.
And he actually finished 3 under on the day.
Yeah, he bogeyed 3 of the, because I think he he birdied on 14.
Yeah.
And then he bogeyed on, but they were saying when he eagled on 14.
Yeah.
He was 10 under or 11 under.
Just looking at the leaderboard and the FedEx Cup standings, I'm just looking at this list. You have Tiger 13th, Dustin Johnson 5, Brooks Koepka 6th, Xander Schauffele 2nd. Every time I say his name, I say the spaghetti sauce. Francesco Molinari. I always say Francesco Rinaldi. I don't know why. I did it.
Molinari.
Yeah, that's what I did. At 12th, Jason Day 29th, Tony Finau, who I thought actually could have won it. 25th, Webb Simpson's 39th, John Rahm's 23rd. That Patrick Cantley young kid, he's 21st. Ricky Fowler, he was there. 8th, that's my favorite golfer. Ian Poulter 43rd. Matt Kuchar, the number 1. Justin Harding is the only one not on the top 50. Justin Thomas 10. Bubba 49th. Phil 14th. Adam Scott 30th. I mean, that's...
Want to hear some bullshit? I got 7 people on the DL in our league.
I've got 3 now. I went from 0 to 3.
7. My whole bench is on the DL. Pitchers and starting players.
I picked up a player and immediately got a trade request for him.
Who was it?
That Wade kid from Tampa Bay. He's like the second base outfielder.
Oh,
He's He's hitting like 300. He's got like 4 home runs. He steals bases.
Oh wait,
as well.
8 players. I forgot because I don't have no more place to put Gary Sanchez, so he's still in my starting lineup.
You just kind of rest him there.
He's just sitting there.
He's just chilling
Because
you don't want to drop anybody.
I got a backup catcher.
Yeah.
Just I got enough spots open the way I don't got to put him as catcher. Okay, let's get back to the match. I just wanted to throw that out there. 8 fucking players on the DL.
That's a lot. I wanted to talk about that a little bit. I got my first win, so I was happy. Come from behind, too. I was getting smoked.
Actually, Rich Hill should be back, and Francisco Lindor should be back pretty soon.
I was getting smoked, and I ended up pulling out a 10-7 win. So
I lost 13-2.
the second half of the week, all my hitters hit. Nice. I was like, and Odor went on the DL, and I picked up that kid. I'm not joking. I picked him up late. I woke up, and it was like an hour after I made the pickup. I had a trade request for the same guy. It was like he went in the thing. He's like, shit, who got him? And he saw me, and he's like, trade.
I had 2 offers, and both got rescinded before I could even see what they were.
Really?
What the hell?
Yeah.
No, I saw one of them.
I was trying to remember. He offered me like a low-level pitcher who was having a decent start. But I'm like, no.
Listen, I got an all-star team on the bench. Ohtani, Aaron Hicks, Francisco Lindor, Trey Turner, Gary Sanchez, John Lester, Rich Hill.
Yeah, the guys that are hurt on my team are Odor, Jeremy Jeffress, and Clevenger, who's just got put on the 60-day DL.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. Well, he's supposed to be out till the All-Star break, so...
Yeah, they just said Trey Turner's out 6 to 8 weeks.
Oof, that's a big one.
No, because if Lindor comes back, it doesn't really matter to me as much.
Well, Billy Hamilton's been hurt all week, and he's finally back. Oh, wait. I can actually make a change here. Oh, no, I can't.
God, we get off the topic so soon.
We really do. We really fucking do.
8 players on the DL. 8 out of a, 20-man roster?
That sounds about right. All right, Joey Votto's not playing tonight against the Dodgers.
A third of my team is on the DL. We got 24 spots. I got 8 on the DL.
Eek.
With 3 DL spots.
Eek.
And I can't drop none of them.
That's my response to that. Eek. So, yeah, I don't have Joey Votto playing tonight now, but I can't replace him because all my other first basemen are off except for Travis Shaw, who I had at second base because of the Odor injury. And I said Lowe. Lowe is his last name.
Lowe?
No, Brandon Lowe. But he's second base outfield eligible, but he's off today.
You want Paul Goldschmidt?
What's that?
You want Paul Goldschmidt?
I'll always take Paul Goldschmidt.
Let's make a trade.
All right, I'll give you
No.
Brandon Lowe. It was a hot trade commodity. Not the chip.
He's only batting 205 right now.
Brandon Lowe?
No, Paul Goldie.
I was going to say, Brandon Lowe's got a couple stolen bases, 4 homers, batting over 300. Jesus Christ, he's gotten a hit in every game this year except 1.
He's got 6 home runs so far. Well, let's get back to the Masters.
Yeah, we got way off topic.
Fantasy takes over your life.
What's your fantasy?
All right, Luda.
Ooh, Saturday night. Sorry. I went way off.
Yeah, that was.
I'm going deep in the catalog of Luda. Bless you. Oh no, Jan. I thought you were gonna sneeze. But actually, it was just pretty much the. What's your opinion on them all saying that Tiger's back? About
I don't know. Back from what?
back to him being the golfer who's always going to be on the leaderboard.
Age, attrition, injury.
Well, he's also golfing against a giant chunk of that generation of player that wanted to
be Tiger.
Yeah. So his type of game that when he was super healthy and younger is exactly what all these people are doing. Mm-hmm. Like even Phil Mickelson said when he was the only one that could even come close to Tiger at times when Tiger was, and that was sparingly, but he did it. He even said that his game has had to change because he's now the old man on the course who can't, swing the club like all these young kids who can hit 700-yard bombs.
Everyone's doing what Tiger was doing when nobody else was doing what Tiger was doing.
When it was Tiger and John Daly hitting the shit out of the ball, they were the only two that would...
John fucking Daly.
I'm not wrong, though.
I love John Daly.
John Daly just couldn't keep his head straight with fucking hookers and blow, so he was continuously...
Don't you ever talk about John Daly.
I thought you were going to talk about hookers and blow. Don't you disparage hookers and blow.
Don't you talk about hookers and blow.
Don't you disparage that hookers and blow.
Listen, John Daly might be my favorite golfer of all time. John Daly was a shiznit.
Do you know who my favorite golfer of all time was? And he died way too early. Payne Stewart. I loved his fucking pants.
I used to love
His ugly ass pants. I loved them.
what was his name? DL3.
Davis Love III.
Mm-hmm. He's a big DL3 fan.
We are actually going deep into golf right
I'm
here.
okay. I like
We're
golf.
talking like Davis Love III, Payne
I like
Stewart,
golf.
John Daly.
Listen, don't talk about John Daly. Our friendship will be over. Our friendship will end right
I'll get you some hookers and blowers ceremonial.
now. Okay.
Truce.
We're back. Our friendship is back.
Yay.
Hookers and blow.
Yay. I mean, I'm partaking, but still.
Hookers and cocaine.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Oh, yes, it is. Come on, we gotta go because we can't run too late tonight.
I know. we still have our baseball thing to talk about
I'm
too.
taking you out at
All
8
right.
o'clock.
All right, let's get into baseball then.
Let's get to you.
Hello, how are you?
Is it me you're looking for?
So, about baseball. First off, what about that fucking streak that finally came to an end that Chris Davis had? He was 0 for a century.
That might be the best streak in the history of baseball.
Did you see how he's woken up from it?
Hey, he still sleep.
Well, he hit a home run today.
I haven't been able to
He's
watch.
he's got I think he's got a home run and 5 RBIs now since this streak ended.
Nice.
And he was 3 for 5 the other day, and he was 2. I think he had 2 hits today. So he's
batting.
he's
Batting 087.
he still is batting less than Joey Gallo.
He would love to see the Mendoza line.
He has to actually hit pretty well to hit the Mendoza line before the end of April.
Let's see what he's at.
I was gonna say I could just go right to the stats.
Is it me you're looking for?
Huh? Ah!
Okay.
That hurt. That really hurt. So, how big is the Kershaw debut tonight?
Yeah, it depends on what Kershaw comes.
Well, he's going to be under restriction.
Oh, well, you can tell. Like
A Kershaw restriction.
I'm so if he comes out and his fastball is still in the mid 80s, low 90s, high 80s. If he's that Kershaw all season, doesn't matter. If he's that now, but he's working his way back to 93 with a fall off the table
12-6.
curveball with pinpoint control, I think it changed. I don't think you can judge him off of right now.
No, but
Three starts.
it's one of those things like what difference does it make for a team like the Dodgers? What difference does it make for Major League Baseball to have like Kershaw back healthy?
Oh shit, he's batting. Oh no, this is on base percentage.
He still had walks.
Batting .089.
He still walked a couple of times.
Oh, his OBP is 194, 96.
Yeah, he's walked a couple times. I think he was intentionally walked once.
He's back. He went 1 for 3 today.
Okay. But, so, let's do our, we didn't get a chance, normally we do like a baseball special, where we do like the whole, these teams are going to make the playoffs, this team's going to win the World Series,
Shit's been crazy lately.
this person's going to be, the MVP, this person's going to be the Cy Young. So let's try to do that quick, and then we'll talk about other stuff. So, who do you see making the playoffs this year in the American League? We'll start there because that's your league.
Yankees and the Red Sox.
So who do you have as a wild card then?
I don't know yet.
Okay, so you'd have
Fuck, I don't know. If the Yankees stay with fucking 37 people on the injury list, they might not make the playoffs.
best record in baseball right now is Tampa.
I think they're gonna.
No, but
they're gonna fall back to the means.
they want anybody who has a show to say that because they can't fucking believe it either. Son of a bitch! I just broke this. There we go. So
Cleveland.
Okay.
I think Cleveland's the best team in that division.
And then out west.
Houston.
Okay, so you already have so you already have the Yankees or the Red Sox
As
a wild card. Who would be the other wild card?
Oakland.
Oakland.
Yeah, I can see Oakland doing it.
I even before the way that this season started, I actually had Tampa as a wild card team
I can see that too.
because they had 90 wins last year.
I can see that.
Yeah, they had 90 wins last year, and technically they got a little better. But I actually had the Red Sox winning the division. I had the Yankees in second, so the wild card would have been them versus Tampa. I had.
That'd be dope. You choose for the AL East?
You'd have either Blake Snell or the litany of pitchers that they would throw at you, where you wouldn't have to face the same pitcher more than once.
Just fucking might change pitches in the middle of it at bat. That'd be funny as fuck.
He threw a 1-1 count. Oh, pitch and change.
Bring in the lefty. he watched that into the catcher's mitt too well. In the National League, I got Philly and the Yankees.
I didn't finish my.
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. please. I told you I'm fucking beat. I'm tired.
Out west, I had Houston, and in the Central, I also had Cleveland. So, okay, go ahead.
Fucking drumstick. Fuck, what was that? Oh,
National League
I got
playoff
Philly
teams.
and New York.
Okay.
I think New York will win the wild card.
Okay.
Milwaukee,
Okay.
the Dodgers.
Okay.
Uh,
So it would be the other wild card.
St. Louis, maybe?
St. Louis.
Yeah.
No Cubs. No Rockies.
No, not the Rockies.
No Braves.
I think they're gonna.
I'm just throwing.
No, I know. I think they're gonna regress.
Okay.
And
Still not a bad team though.
no, not at all. I don't want to count the Rockies out. Not when you have Arenado.
Trevor Story.
Yeah.
Well, did you see that German? God, I'm blanking. Had a no-no going into the 7th, 8th inning yesterday. For a Rocky pitcher.
Yeah. Actually, I wouldn't be surprised if San Diego. No, I think they're a year away.
San Diego's already playing very well. They really are. But they also, they haven't really played the Dodgers. They haven't.
I think they'll be a much better team. I don't know if they'll be a.
Wait until they go on a big road trip like the Dodgers did, where they had to go to like St. Louis and shit like that. Like that's where the Dodgers got slapped back to reality from that 8-2 start.
Back to life.
Usually I would finish that, but again.
I wanted to say San Diego so bad. I just don't think. I think they're a year away.
Okay. So you said you had, we'll just say Philly,
St. Louis and the Mets as the
wild card.
Wild cards.
And Philly,
the Dodgers,
Milwaukee, and
Milwaukee.
Dodgers. Okay. I have the Mets winning the East. Actually, I had the Braves as the wild card out of the East. I had the Brewers winning with the Cubs as the other wild card out of the Central, and I had the Dodgers. Homer out west.
Still the best team in the West, though.
They are until otherwise proven.
I think next year maybe. It depends on what Kershaw does. If Kershaw comes back to be just 85% of Kershaw, I think they win the West easily. If he's 75% or
less.
lower, it's going to be a struggle for them.
Well, I mean, honestly, I want him just to stay healthy to play the entire season for the rest of the season. I don't think that's too tough to ask. Is it? I really don't think it is, honestly, because I honestly think that.
Is the AL East the best team in the best division of baseball?
Wait, which one did you say?
The AL East.
AL East. Well, shit. Well, the top three, really, yeah.
Then you got Baltimore, Toronto.
Then you got Baltimore, Toronto. That kind of muddies the water.
What would be the best division?
Well, you can't.
It might be the NL East.
NL East, because it's everybody but the Marlins.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, I think the NL East might be the best division.
Because you'd have Philly, Atlanta, Washington, and the Mets, and then you have the Marlins. Honestly, the Central's not a slouch either, with Milwaukee, St. Louis, Pittsburgh, the Cubs, and then you have Cincinnati.
I think Pittsburgh is in a Cincinnati category more than the top
Pittsburgh
teams.
always Pittsburgh.
They're a scrappy bunch.
I wish there was a video of how your face looked right there, because you could probably tell how I'm trying not to laugh so fucking hard right now, because the way that you did it was just
No, I'm not saying they're not a good team. I'm saying I think they're closer to Cincinnati than they are the top 3 teams.
Okay, no. I get what you mean there. And then you have just now go to the other other divisions. You have the AL Central with Minnesota, Cleveland, Detroit, the White Sox, and Kansas City. You have the 3 teams kind of toward the bottom. Kansas City probably floating middle, and then Chicago, and then Detroit. Technically,
Yeah.
Although right now differences in the standings. The West,
The AL West is pretty strong too.
because Seattle, Houston, Oakland, the Angels, and Texas.
Yeah, that's a strong
I was
division.
going to say, those teams aren't... Like, Texas is probably the worst out of that bunch.
Nah, just because I'm still on this thing, the Yankees are going to get Trout. Me.
Okay.
Just because I think the Yankees are still going to get Trout.
Even now you have to give up the fucking farm for him.
I would.
Here's the entire farm system. Here is Giancarlo Stanton and Aaron Judge.
No.
You'd have to give up like a fuckload.
No, I think in 3 years, 3 to 5 years, he'll be traded.
Really? They held on to Pujols, for Christ's sake. 3 to 5 years, Trout's still prime.
Yep.
Pujols, not prime.
But where would it? Who the fuck wants Pujols?
Angels?
Nobody wants Pujols.
The Angels?
The Angels don't want Pujols.
Well, the Angels have stated they don't want to trade him. They want him.
No, they said that because who the fuck? It's more like one of those preventative. It's like, oh yeah, I love my car with 3 wheels that gets 8 gallons to the gas, 8 gallons to the to the full
8 miles to the gallon.
It's like one of those things. Just say it. You say I love it before anyone tells you they don't want it.
Okay.
If someone if the Dodgers say, here, take David Freese for Albert Pujols, they'd be like, okay.
No, they
Yes.
wouldn't take Pujols.
Yeah, you know what I mean. I'm just in general.
Oh, okay.
It's like, all right, here, take this.
You didn't even know David Freese was on the Dodgers.
No, my point exactly. All right, take this 18th rounder in 2047.
Deal.
It's like, yeah, we don't want to trade Pujols unless someone asks us to.
Okay, the only way that I think a team would do is if they ate a lot of that money.
Listen,
Seriously.
they would have to eat 90% of that contract. Because that might be him and Miggy are the 2 worst deals ever. Not ever, but in hindsight, those are the 2 most horrible deals right now. And I'm a fan of the Knicks, who gave Joe Noah $70 million.
Pujols, $28 million. That's what his contract is.
How many more years he got?
Let me find out.
3?
I can find out. Hang on.
And what Mickey's in the 3rd of a 7-year deal?
Hang on. There was a way I could actually space it out, but for some reason, right now, it's not letting me. Oh, here we go. Multi-year summary. That's what I want. How about the multi-year summary?
You get the multi-year summary.
You're a multi-year summary.
Multi-diet summary.
Oh, he's not on the books that year. He's still on the book until, I think it's 2021. Yep, 2021. That's his last year on that contract, 2021.
And what about Mickey? 2023, I think it is, or something like that.
Let me see here. I'm going to go to the multi-year summary here. So I got to go to Detroit here.
Nah, fuck it, it's not that important.
No, I'm trying to get to it. It's the website's being slow, or the internet's being slow. It's one of the two. Miguel is under contract until he is under contract. Oh, yeah, he's still there until 2023. Like it literally goes to 2023.
I think 2023 or 24 is his last year.
Yeah, it's funny because as of right this second, their payroll for 2023 is his contract.
What is it, 28 million?
It's 32 million. That's how he's actually getting 30 this year, 30 next year, and then 32 for the last couple of years of his contract. Jesus Christ!
Where they regretting that?
That is wow. So I'm looking at this team and I'm like, man, where's all this money coming from? Because their payroll is actually 117 million.
Victor Martinez is probably still on the books.
I'm looking at this here and it's like
Prince Fielder.
Prince Fielder's still in the book. He's only $6 million this year and next year. That's it. Verlander's still on their book for $8 million, which is a hell of a deal, honestly. Houston to still have him being paid.
Well, didn't they just re-sign?
Yeah, but he still gets paid their allotted whatever. But
I'm trying to think of who else. Jordan Zimmerman.
$25 million.
Yeah, he was a bad deal.
$25 million this year and next year.
Nice.
Yep.
Good Jordan Zimmerman.
But he now has a modified no trade clause. They unlocked that, so they must have worked something out for him. So here's a thing. How much do you think Michael Fulmer's getting?
1.3, something like that.
2.8.
Yeah, he's still on a small.
He's got his arbitration years coming up.
Yeah.
The next, even though he's hurt right now, that's the one thing that's going to hurt him in that negotiating window for the arbitrational shit. But I'm looking at their contracts. Their biggest contracts are Miggy. I forget Josh Harrison's there, but he's only making $2 million. That's a cheap deal. Jordy Mercer is making 5.25. Nick Castellanos is making basically 10. He's literally just underneath it. Jordan Zimmerman. Tyson Ross at $6 million. Fulmer at 2.8. Shane Green at $4 million. I mean, that's
Shane Green.
Yeah, that's their payroll. Like
Mickey's your payroll, pretty much.
Yeah. Which now makes me want to look at your boys and go to like look at their breakdown for the multi-year summary.
Stan.
So they're for this year it's $208 million and change. That's your payroll this year. So you have for your catchers, your most expensive one is Austin Romine, $1.8 million.
Because Sanchez is still on his pre-arbitration.
Yep. He has his first year of arbitrations next year. He's making $669,800.
Something like Judge. Judge is making some minuscule number.
He's making less, $684.
Yeah. So is Torres.
Wait, here I've got to find him here. Andujar is making $617,000. Torres is making $605,000.
No, the big number is Giancarlo. In a roll, this is a big number. Tanaka's a big number.
Tanaka's $22 million. Oraldis is $17.2 million. Ellsbury, $21.1.
He's got another year after this too, doesn't he?
Yes, he does, and he also has a club option for 2021.
Yeah, he's not picking that up.
But there technically is that. But he's making, to be exact, Jacoby Ellsbury is making $21,142,857. To basically, he's going to play, 40 games?
He won't play that.
And that's if that. Brett Gardner's making 7.5. Aaron Hicks is making 6.2.
Which is a steal if he can get out there.
Didi's 11.75. DJ LeMahieu was $12 million this year and next year. Let's go to your pitchers here. Happ $17 million. Forgot about him. Paxton's 8.5. CC's $8 million. Severino's 4.5 this year, but then it jumps to 10.5 next year.
Yeah, because he re-upped.
Yeah, reworked the deal. Zach Britton's $13 million
for 3 years.
Yep. Yeah, it's 2 year. It's 2 years this year and next year. The player option for $13 million in 2021, then a $14 million club option in 2022.
Yeah, they won't pick it up.
I don't think they're going to pick that one up, but he technically could be there for 4.
And Betances is on a small deal.
And next year, Chapman actually goes off of his full no trade clause. It becomes a modified because of the time.
Yeah, let's trade his ass.
Well, look what it did for you last time. You traded him and got him right back. You fucking won twice.
Winning!
And Giancarlo Stanton, sorry, I forgot to read his. $26 million. A-Rod's still on your books. $4 million this year, $5 million next year.
They had to stretch it.
I think they did. Because he was making like $30 million a year. So the fact that they're giving him 4 and 5, they must have done something.
He didn't get a Bobby Gold deal.
Harper almost did.
That shit still makes me laugh.
So now I want to look at my team just because I just did that to yours. So Dodgers payroll this year. I keep forgetting Dodgers are under $200 million this year.
Alright.
Yeah, they're at 197. They actually the luxury tax. They can technically sign a player, and if they space it out enough, they can not hit the luxury tax, which I think is very good. Because I'm looking at their list right now. God, that is terrible. Their deferred payroll money, $8 million for the next 3 years to Scott Kazmir. You know that? That is crazy. Scott Kazmir is still getting paid $8 million a year for the next 3 years. Fuck. All right, let's look at their other. What's that?
He turned 1.5 good seasons, comeback seasons,
Into yeah.
Apparently $8 million over the next 3 years.
Yeah. That's nuts. Buried payroll figures. The ones that have been released, traded, or otherwise removed from the roster, but they still are paying some of their deal. $7 million.
Yeah, I see a week.
No, because he wasn't making a lot.
Andre Ethier, is he still on your books?
No, he retired. When his contract ran out, they offered him a minor league deal, and then he retired. Homer Bailey, because of that trade that they instantly cut him, 22.4.
What a name for a pitcher.
But now let's go to their players. Out of their relief pitchers, Kenley Jansen 19.3, and then there's player options for the next 2 years of 18 and 20 million for him. I think that he'll sign re-up for that.
Maybe.
Then you have some little guy named Clayton Kershaw, only making 31 million. No big deal.
Yeah, slouch.
Rich Hill in his last year's 18.6. Hyun-Jin Ryu in his last year of his contract, 17.9. Well, this was the qualifying offer. He took it. Kenta Maeda, who's been like their utility guy for pitching, only 3.1.
I'll take it.
And he's making 3.1 all the way till 2023.
I'll take $3.1.
Yep, me too. And Cody Bellinger, who's off to that insanely hot start, he's actually playing like rookie Cody. 605. That's all he's making. 1,000. That's it.
I'll take that too.
AJ Pollock. You know how they signed him for that much money? His contract, $4 million only this year.
Is it backloaded?
No, it's middle loaded. The 2 years before the player club options, 15 next year, 18 in 2021. But so $4 million if he stays healthy like he has been so far.
I hope he does because I drafted him in a couple leagues. Again,
Jock Peterson's only making $5 million. Corey Seager's only making $4 million. Justin Turner, because of that contract he signed a couple years ago, $19 million.
he fucking turn around.
He parlayed a freaking career in New York where they didn't know what to do with him into the Dodgers going, yeah, we'll take him, and turned it into this.
I wish he'd fucking snap out of his mini early slump.
Well, he's starting to come around.
He's
gotten some hits.
He got him in 3 leagues.
David Freese making $4.5 million.
David Freese trading for Pujols.
Max Muncy is only making $575,000.
Nice. I love how we can sit here and say only.
Yeah, I know. Russell Martin, $20 million.
Wow.
That's what they signed him for.
Why?
1 year, $20 million.
He must have just felt nostalgic.
Oh shit! I forgot that in the minor leagues they have Josh Tolley, the former Met catcher.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, because they use Austin Barnes and Rocky Gale as their catchers now that Russell Martin's hurt. So Tolley, who's getting paid $600,000, is sitting in their minor leagues. He's the second highest paid pitcher that they have. So that is what they have. Their deferred and retained money, the Dodgers, is $39 million this year out of the $197 million.
It's not bad.
And you guys only had $5 million or $8 million. No, was it 5, 6?
I don't remember.
It was A-Rod's money. 4 and 5. That's
Eight,
what it was.
I thought you said 8
5
and
and
5.
6. And it was 5 and 6. That's what it was.
5,
But
6,
still.
7, 8.
Anyway, who do you think will be the MVP this year? For the National League, we'll start there. I'll say one of the leagues. Because it's... Oh, what's that? Oh, nothing. It's all right. I got a coupon offer from eBay.
Nice.
Yeah, 20% off sporting goods.
Have I ever shopped on eBay?
I have.
Who's going to be the MVP in the National League?
Do you want me to tell you mine?
Sure.
I actually said it before the season, and I'm glad he's actually playing well. Cody Bellinger. I said he'd have if you remember before the draft,
I said Goldie.
Remember I said before the draft, Bellinger, on the air, I said Bellinger is going to have a bounce back year from back to rookie season. So far, he's actually exceeding it. So far. He's got 9 home runs already. He's only trailing Chris Davis.
Everyone trusts Chris Davis.
Well, yeah, he has the most home runs in the last like 4 years.
I think I'm gonna go with Goldie.
All right, and I have Belly. Who
That doesn't work. Don't try and steal Goldie's shine.
His name's Goldie. Can't steal that shine.
Touche.
Be easy.
Bang. Bang bang.
Take a hit from. Never mind. Sorry for his reference there. So who do you have as Cy Young? I would have said Scherzer. That would have been mine.
I'm trying not to pick Scherzer, but it's hard not to pick. I was going to pick. I swear to God, I was going to say DeGrom
Actually,
or Scherzer.
if I remember correctly, you said Syndergaard was going to have a better season than DeGrom.
Last year.
No, you said that
This year?
This year, yeah. You said if he stays healthy, he will have a better season than DeGrom. But you said DeGrom will regress a little bit.
I can see it happening both ways, but I was going to pick. It's going to be Scherzer or DeGrom.
I think Scherzer, yeah. And I think Alonso's going to be the rookie of the year, just by the way he's going already. It's either going to be him or Tatis. Maybe
I can see that.
Yeah, Alonso's hitting the shit out of the ball for the Mets.
I just see it could just also be someone that no one expected.
It could be somebody who's not up yet.
Yeah,
he could be. It could be somebody who comes up May 1st.
Like I'm just surprised that they brought Tatis up to start.
Me too.
I loved it.
The way that they're going, go big or go home.
You
might as well, if you're going for 2 weeks to keep him, because they would have called him up the 18th, 19th.
Yeah, in a week or so. Yeah,
it's
less than a week.
By the end of this week, they could have called him up.
Yeah,
and they could have controlled him 1 extra year.
I loved it. They were like, "Fuck it, we trying to win." Listen, we can get 18 games out of them right now.
Well, look at Toronto. Toronto knows they're in a logjam above them, so they have Vlad still sitting. He was also hurt.
He's hurt, but
he was also hurt to start out. So that they got the benefit of that.
No, because they already said they weren't.
Oh yeah, but it made it a lot easier for them to make that decision because now they're like, oh look, we didn't have to make that fucking decision.
It's gonna hurt them in the long run, so it don't matter.
Did you see their attendance for their opening series? We could those tickets that we got before. We could have gotten there again, no problem.
For $8.
Well, it was $30, but still 37 Canadian. No, 37 American. It was 37 American.
37 Canadian.
Oh no, Dad's was 37. Ours was 47. Dad had the senior citizen discount.
37 Canadian is $17.50 American.
8 cents.
And you get 6 hot dogs. I want one of those.
Those hot dogs were good. Remember when we took those pictures?
I said it was on. It's
the memory came
on
over.
My phone. Yeah.
Well,
not on my.
Well, the memory will be coming up at the end of the month.
From Facebook.
Yeah. God, that was 4 years ago now.
Was it 4?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm still like Yap.
Yeah.
Because we left my car at Yap.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Yeah, it's DeGrom or Syndergaard. Or Scherzer.
All right. So American League, who's your MVP?
Aaron Judge.
Really?
Yes.
Well, I went with a homer, so I can't really.
I was not even home. I don't think he's going to get hurt, and I think there's a middle average between his rookie season and last season.
Yeah. And
I think that middle average is about 310, 40 plus home runs, 100 plus RBIs, really, really good defense, 10, 15 stolen bases, bunch of walks, bunch of runs scored.
You're expecting Goldie type numbers, because that's what Goldschmidt does.
Yeah.
Goldschmidt does that. He'll sneakily steal 18 bases. He walks a bunch.
And I think they'll have
sneakily a word.
It could be.
Okay, whatever.
And the only reason I said that is because I could have went out on the land and said Trout bets.
Well, I honestly, not to go the safe route,
It's
I'm like Trout. Because I have pretty much a 50-50 shot at that. Because he's first or second for the most part.
I think Betts is going to have a better
All right, so
season.
here, the tougher one, Cy Young for the American League. Because I think that's a tougher one than the American League. Because the National League, you head and shoulders have those couple of guys. The American League...
I don't know. It depends on what Kluber comes up. Because Kluber to start the year last year was Kluber. But to finish the year,
Yeah, well, this year he's not doing so well to start out.
Exactly.
With,
So I
yeah.
wonder if
Well, this could be the Kluber from a couple of years ago, where the start of the year he did shit, and then basically from Memorial Day to the end of the year he was elite.
that's the
He was
point
the
I gonna
clue.
make.
He was the clue bot.
The clue. I
Yeah.
wonder if the first month he's going to.
He would have been. He would have been at the beginning of the season. He was my choice
If he was going to go 1-3.
because you know I have a man crush.
I
on
love
Kluber.
Kluber.
Yeah, we've gone through this how many fucking times?
He's going to start 1-3 with a 3.6 ERA, and then his next 20 starts he's going to go 14-1
with a one
with a
1.87. Yeah,
and strike out 170 people.
yeah.
So
yeah.
but it's hard to pick against Kluber. It's just like it's hard to pick against Scherzer.
Yeah.
But
And it's hard to pick against Trout, and it's hard to pick against. Yeah,
Yeah. I'm gonna go with.
I know. I can hear the. Because I can't tell if that's the actual hamster making the noise or the wheel.
I don't know. The only reason I say that is because all the there's fucking the usual suspect names are popping in my head: Blake Snell, Carlos Carrasco, Carl Kluber, Justin Verlander, Garrett Cole. Like just the names that are popping in my head. I can't think.
Well, last year my choice was Garrett Cole, and that didn't work out very
I
well.
can't think of anybody I can actually say, yeah, I think they have the best shot of it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say Tanaka. I'm gonna be a homer.
I thought you were gonna go with like CC.
Take him.
No, those are my chords, Bella. Those are my chords. There you go. I got like slobber all over my face. Yeah. All right. Where the hell did we just leave off? We just did the Cy Young. So, rookie of the year. I think when Vlad Jr. comes up, it's gonna be pretty much just a Vlad show. He's gonna be the rookie that.
I think it depends on when they bring him up.
Oh, he's coming up probably the 1st of May.
Is he going to be healthy? Because does he have an oblique injury?
Yeah, but he's already hitting. He's already
is he?
yeah. He's already hitting home runs. He hit one. And
Oh yeah, I saw something that they was.
he was hitting bombs like bomb
Yeah,
bombs.
if he's.
Very nice, very nice.
If he comes up anytime soon,
Yeah,
if he plays 125 games, I think 130 games. If he gets in 130 games,
ish. Yeah,
Yeah.
even if he gets in like 110, he can still qualify. Because look at how many rookie of the year have come up in the middle of the year and won it. So I mean, if they bring him up, say the 1st of May, he's going to be.
it's going to be Blake Swihart.
He's not. I was going to say he's not a
I
rookie.
just want to say Blake Swihart.
Oh, I was like, he's not a rookie. The Nets fans have taken over Philly with loud chants of Brooklyn before the start of Game 2.
When they play, I'm not watching it.
Yeah, that game's already on.
Shows you how much I care right now. Listen, after this, I'm probably going to.
Honestly, when the show ends, I'm driving home, I'm taking my sleeping pill, and I'm conking the fuck
I'm
out.
going to say something that might be. I'm not even taking a shower tonight.
Nice.
I'm probably taking it.
Ew.
No, I got to. I put fun if I'm on the show.
Yeah, tip-off's about ready to happen in the Nets game. Tip-off's at 8:05.
It will watch me. That's what I'll say.
You'll have it on, but you're not really watching it.
Not even close.
No? That's how I thought you were going to word it.
No, that's what, I mean, I'm not even close to be watching it.
Oh, you're not even close to watching. He had to take care of his dog for a second. Yeah, that's why he was way in the background there.
It will definitely, I don't want to say definitely will be on,
Yeah,
but yeah,
it'll be way in the background and
It'll be my
background.
white noise for background.
Yeah, your background fodder. I said the word fodder.
You said father. Hello, mother.
Nice. Yeah, so we went through all that there. Out of the teams that we picked to make the playoffs, who do you think would win the series?
Homer.
Who would go to the World Series, and who would win it? Out of the teams we said would go.
All New York final.
Oh, you have another Subway Series?
All New York.
Oh, nice.
That's not realistic.
I mean,
It's realistic.
I
don't
mean,
think
you
that.
technically picked them both to make the playoffs, so it really is. You had the Mets as a wild card.
Houston,
Okay, Houston.
New York.
And so the Mets and the Astros.
Or the Yankees and the Mets.
I like the Subway Series. That would literally the ratings on the East Coast would be through the roof. The West Coast not tuning in so much.
I was like, oh, baseball still going?
What? All our teams are gone. For me, I have Milwaukee and the Red Sox.
You shut the hell up and get out my house.
Trust me, I didn't want to say the Red Sox.
You get out my house.
But I sat there going, okay, this is who I had in there. I'm like, yeah, no, that's what it's going to be. I would love to see Tampa make it. I had them in the playoffs. Technically, they could.
They could.
I had them in the second wild card, so that's realistically, I technically gave them a chance. But I honestly, yeah, I had at the beginning of the year, I had those two teams. I want it to
I'm
be
skewed a little bit.
I want it to be my team, but
I've been watching, so
yeah.
what I had at the beginning.
Oh, I know.
Now.
We said we didn't want to be skewed, but we even said it's going to be tough once the season.
You watched 3 weeks
Yeah.
pretty much of baseball
Yeah.
already. And
That's
you're
all right, though.
Looking at stuff, so
It's not tough to like. We never would have said Pete Alonso as Rookie of the Year, but look at how he's freaking doing.
I liked him as the Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, but
Not as the Rookie of the Year. I liked him as the.
he was a rookie starter. I mean, he was.
I thought he was going to be a good player.
Yeah.
Rookie of the Year.
No, I wouldn't.
outside
I wouldn't
shot.
have thought that. No.
No, outside shot, but
You wouldn't have.
I would have picked Tatis.
Yeah, me too.
But
We would have picked a big name.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Even though he's a big name for their system,
to be honest, like
he was their number one prospect
I know
for the Mets.
he's a big name to me just because I'm a diehard Yankee fan, but I also like the Mets.
But we
So
also
it's a difference.
you and I also follow baseball
Yeah.
cl-
But
a lot closer than most of the other sports.
I can name four rookies this year, and he was one of them. That's why he would have been on my list.
Yeah, but every rookie we said is going to play well.
Yeah, but like I couldn't outside of Alonso, Tatis. Fuck, I can't think.
Vlad Jr.
Yeah, like I couldn't. Like as much as I am into baseball,
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you the rookies
No,
from
no, no.
other teams and stuff right now.
Yeah.
As I could, like I can tell you the Yankees, the Mets rookies, stuff like that, and the bigger name that Tatis Jr. is, the Guerrero Jr., the XYZ. So
Yeah.
he wouldn't have been. I'm not saying I would have picked him, but would I put him in my top 3?
One more topic before we close the show because it's almost 8 o'clock. We said we wanted to be done at 8.
Fuck you, Wade.
Well, we got to do the movies. One more topic before we do the movies, and then we will. Oh, breaking news: Joel Embiid playing tonight against the Nets.
Wait, hurry up. Let's get to the movies.
Oh no, I wanted one more quick thing. Football. Russell Wilson gave the hard midnight Eastern, not even midnight West Coast time, midnight Eastern, to do a long-term deal, or he's not going to sign one.
Bullshit. If they offer him $180 million at 12:01, you telling me he's not going to sign?
He claims he won't.
He doesn't have no leverage. He's not saying if sign me or I'm not coming to camp. He's going, all right, I won't sign. All right, you don't sign. You still got to play for
You're
us.
still here for
Then we
him.
can franchise you,
Yeah.
and then we can offer you. All right, so you're telling me not this rhetorical question. At 12:01, they go, fuck it. Yeah, take 5 years at 150. He's not going to sign.
Oh, I think he would. But
Well,
that
maybe not.
would literally be them calling his bluff.
Yeah.
They're going to offer him that big deal and be like, okay, we're going to wait until 12:01 and be like, or we'll be like, oh, the phone was ringing on our end still at 12, but it didn't go through till
It's bullshit.
12:01. Ha.
So, if he would have said either sign me or I'm not coming to camp,
Yeah.
then it makes a difference.
Okay.
Well, him saying either sign me or I'm not going to sign until next year. Okay.
Okay.
There's no incentive for them to say, all right, let's sign you. Because if he doesn't want to sign, all right, fuck it, let's franchise him.
And they
Fuck
honestly,
it, let's franchise him again.
yeah. Well, teams have done that.
Washington. But,
Yeah.
So,
But also, I think he's a little better than
Kirk Cousins,
Cousins,
I think he's
yeah.
a lot better. I think he's a top 5 quarterback.
Question that came up, actually. Sorry, I'm sorry for yawning. We're yawning like crazy here. Sorry, guys.
Should we get to the show?
There was a question that came up with like Chris Hogan signed this week with the Panthers. So the question came up. It was all over the internet as a voting thing, and I saw it in multiple places. with the receiving core that Cam Newton has, the caveat of if he's healthy for all 16 games ish, where would he rank?
I don't know who's the
Yep.
receiving core. I haven't really paid much attention to
Chris Hogan's like is like a big name there. That's what I'm
Is
telling
he
you.
their number one now?
Yeah.
I mean, more the same, man.
It would.
Depending on who they draft. I don't know. Maybe they draft DK Metcalf. Fuck. Maybe they draft Metcalf. I don't know.
I mean, they could, but
Who's their number one?
yeah, I'm trying to get it to load up. It's the internet's running slow. I don't know if it's ESPN because of the. They have as of right now, DJ Moore, Torrey Smith, and Chris Hogan as their. As of right now, I mean that could change, but that's their depth chart right now, and a lot of the people had 5 to 7. I'm like, is that actuality or fantasy wise? Because to me, that's a difference.
Yeah, I agree. If he plays 16 games, he's the top 5 fantasy quarterback because he's gonna get you 800 rushing yards.
Yeah.
10.
That's what I mean.
8 or 6 to 10 touchdowns.
That's what I mean. There's a big difference between because fantasy numbers, I would agree to that 5 to 7 range. Sure, easily,
I think it'll be-
easily.
Yeah.
Because that 7 mark, you really leaving a lot of room for error. If you would have gave me 4 or 5, I'm like, I could still see that too because of what you said, rushing yards.
I wouldn't draft him though.
The only way I would is if I didn't have a quarterback and I needed one that I was like, okay, I'm going to get points from this guy.
If he's my first quarterback, no.
Oh, we do a 2-quarterback league. If he was your second quarterback,
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
okay. But if he was I would be the same way. I would not want him as my first. I would take him as my second or my third.
No.
Because if you have him as a third, and he comes out like a ball of fire, that's awesome. You have that. If you had him as your third, and he's you could still trade him on name alone.
Who the fuck drafts 3 quarterbacks? I barely draft 2.
Well, this year you drafted 2.
Yeah, barely.
Yeah. Oh Christ! A couple of years ago, no, it was this past season. I had Drew Brees and the arsenal of everybody else because I had injury after injury after injury after injury. Like I had Mariota, let him go, brought back in Mariota.
Let him go again.
All right, now here's the movie part. It's 8 o'clock, so we got to do the movies. This is the part of the show where we go to IMDb. We look at the movies that are coming out this week, which I'm literally looking at the list, and I know of a couple of these movies, and that's it. So this list is going to be an interesting list. And then we talk about the top 10. But for the movies that are coming out, we say, yeah, we want to go see it in the theater. Yeah, I might
I'm
see
gonna
it
let you
eventually.
know, I don't want to see any of this shit coming out.
Honestly, there's one movie on this list that I will see when it comes on like Amazon Prime or something. There's another one that maybe I might watch when it hits Amazon or HBO.
I saw some of the stuff coming out. I don't want to see none of this
And
shit.
then all these other ones, probably not. One of them I might watch because my daughter might watch it. That's about it.
See, I'm not in that movie yet.
It's so here we go. Let's bring in movie boys here. The first is a horror mystery thriller. This is the big movie of the weekend. Ignoring the eerie warning of a troubled mother suspected of child endangerment, a social worker and her own small kids are soon drawn into a frightening supernatural realm. Starring Linda Cardinelli, Raymond Cruz, Patricia Velasquez, and Marisol Ramirez. The Curse of La Llorona. I pronounced that wrong. It's La Llorona.
I'm gonna take your word for it.
This is the one movie I will check out eventually.
I saw the commercials for it.
Yeah,
I could care less.
Yeah, it's a horror movie. You know, I eventually watch horror movies. It's literally my Amazon Prime is covered with horror movies.
I don't have Amazon Prime.
It's legitly just it's loaded, and I mean, out of the 250 movies on it, I want to say 207 are horror.
You're gonna say 270.
Yeah, 270 by 250. Next, a documentary. This is the one that I think I might watch eventually with my daughter. I Am Movie Boys. The story of Steve. An Adelaide penguin on a quest to find a life partner and start a family.
Steve can kiss my ass.
When Steve meets the Wazoo, the Empire penguin, They become friends, but nothing comes easy in the icy Antarctic. Penguins.
Fuck you.
I guess it's narrated by Ed Helms.
If it was Morgan Freeman, then maybe.
Narrated by Movie Voice.
Definitely.
Yeah. Just because of the documentary of real penguins, and Abrielle likes penguins, she might check this out.
Enjoy it.
Might, but it's a documentary, so she might go, eh.
I'm just eating my jelly beans.
Next is, I don't know if I want to do this one. Fuck it. It's a short thing. Oh, the names. Oh. Yeah, I'm going to do it just to try the names. Alright. The next one is an action drama romance. That is a weird combo. A drama set in the 40s during the partition of India. That's literally the description. I wish all movies had that kind of description. Quick and easy. Starring Varun Dhawan, Alia Bhatt, Aditya Roy Kapoor, and Madhuri Dixit. Dixit
and butt.
Dixit out. The name of the movie, Kalank. Kalank. Kalank, not clank. Kalank. No. Negative on this one. Although I like that. The thing makes me want to look up the trailer for it because I'm like, that's it? Just set in the 40s during the partition of India? I'm like, that's literally it? I've read fucking biographies of goddamn movies. Like, it's a 13-page paper. It's like, you have to do that on foreign movies just to try to get people interested. This one line, that's it.
So you gonna watch it or not?
Yep, you're gonna check this one out. Eventually. So, yeah, you're gonna watch that one in the theater? Go to the theater watching it. That's where CD's going. He's like, I'm gonna clank it up. Clank it up! Sorry. I don't know. Sorry. I apologize, everybody. I apologize. Coming up next, a biography drama. When her 14-year-old son drowns in a lake, a faithful mother prays for him to come back from the brink of death and be healed. Starring Chrissy Metz, Topher Grace, Josh Lucas, and Marcel Ruiz. Breakthrough. No. No on that one.
I told you I don't have any interest in any of this shit.
The next one is the one that I may want to watch eventually, and it's actually not a horror movie. Just because I've seen the previews for it, and I go, oh, that's not looking terrible. It's oh my god, a comedy, crime, drama, mystery, thriller. Wow. Sam, intelligent, but without purpose, finds a mysterious woman swimming in his apartment's pool one night. The next morning, she disappears. Sam sets off across LA to find her, and along the way, he uncovers a conspiracy far more bizarre. Starring Andrew Garfield, Riley Coe, Topher Grace again, and Callie Hernandez. Topher Grace is everywhere.
Topher Grace is the white
Kevin Hart. Under the Silver Lake. This was the one movie I saw trailers for, and I was like, eventually I'll check that out, but the trailer makes it look probably better than it is. Next, another documentary. I just like the picture of the documentary. I'll tell you what it is in just a second. A quick look at the quick rise and influence of the controversial religious group known as the Satanic Temple. I don't know why you actually would have people starring in this, but people starring in this are Jex Blackmore, Nicholas Crowe, Lucian Graves, and Malcolm Jerry. Hail Satan? Question mark. The picture is the demon goat, but as the Statue of Liberty, and instead of a thing, he's holding up the 2-finger salute.
What the fuck is the 2-finger salute? Oh, Pete knows.
Yeah.
I know what 1-finger salute is. What the fuck is your 2-finger?
I think a lot of people know that one is.
Something I need to learn.
Oh, God. Yeah, I'm not going to read that one. Not going to read that one. I'll read these two. Oh, wait a minute. There's one further down on the list I might actually watch. I didn't go far enough down the list, apparently. All right, next one. Crime drama western. A modern western about two sisters who work outside the law to better their lives. Starring Lily James, Tessa Thompson, Luke Kirby, Lance Reddick, Little Woods. Name of my sex tape.
Name of my sex life.
T. No on this one. I'm gonna say no. Are you a no on that one too?
I'm going to know on everything.
Alright. Next.
Next week, I think. No, maybe 2 weeks.
Next is a movie that I had to change my mind, and I said, okay, maybe there's another one I want to watch, because this literally, just the picture of it, I want to watch the trailer when we're done. This is an action crime drama thriller. With a potent strain of pot sweeping the city, DTA agents attempt to infiltrate a small-town farming operation that has a strong leader and interesting family members. Starring the one, the only Sid Haig, Joe Estevez, Robert Zadar, and Fiona Domenica. High on the hog.
Who the hell is Sid Haig?
Have you watched like House of a Thousand Corpses and he got famous from the Rob Zombie movies.
Ooh.
He's in all those movies.
Is this a horror movie?
This is not, but just by looking at the poster, it's probably a gory action movie.
Gotcha.
Because it's an action crime drama thriller, according to Movie Place.
No intention.
But this one, I'm gonna actually, I am not joking when I say this. I'm getting on YouTube so that when we are done, I am literally watching that trailer so that I can, because usually I try to check them out, but I've been so busy I haven't had a chance to fucking do it. So, come on. What was the name of that movie again? High on the Hog. That's what I thought. Nothing was coming up at first. All right, now let's talk about the. Nice. Yep. All right. Yep. It's going to be a movie I am going to watch just because the little description calls it an exploitation grindhouse film, which means definitely going to watch that because even though it's not listed as a horror, that's usually what that means.
Cool.
That means severe action, gore, limbs flying, that kind of shit.
I don't think I've ever watched a Grindhouse film.
So now let's go to the movies that are in the theater, and we'll talk about that top 10, blah 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 blah, and we will call it a deuce. So, number one, it's second week out. We didn't really say much about this. It's second weekend out.
Shazam!
Yep. 94 million it's made total. 24.5 last weekend. Shazam! Oh, we did talk about that. Because we had that show 2 weeks ago. It was last week we did. So, the next couple were ones we didn't get to talk about. Second place, 15.4 million. First weekend out, Little. It was the movie where, oh, God, what's her name? From the scary movies.
Amy Harris?
No, black girl. She was always one of the girlfriends.
God, I don't know, bro.
Shit, but she's in it. She gets a spell put on her where she becomes little. She becomes
Regina Hall?
That might be who it is, yeah. But she's like, she turns
Yeah,
into like an 11-year-old or something like that. Yeah.
I could care less about it.
Third in its first weekend out, only made 12 million. Hellboy. The remake of Hellboy.
It's not Ron Perlman.
I know, I loved Hellboy.
Doesn't count.
Both Hellboys were so good.
Without Ron Perlman, it's like, no, why?
It's going to be tough. It's like when they redid Nightmare on Elm Street, and they didn't have Robert Englund.
Agreed. I didn't watch the remake.
Although Robert Englund said, he goes, you know what? Before I die, I would like to do it one more time.
I'd be with it.
That would be fucking awesome. Next!
Old ass Freddy.
And it's fourth place, second weekend out. It's made 49.9 total. It made 9.7 this past weekend. The reboot of Pet Sematary.
You never saw the original.
I love the original. The original was so good. And that one, like Keith and I even said it, that one scene where Herman Munster gets his shit taken care of. Cut through his Achilles tendon on the stairs, and then as he's screaming on his knees, right through his lips.
Nice.
Like this. With a scalpel,
Never
tiny
saw the
toddler.
I could care less.
Have you watched the movie Kindergarten Cop?
Mm-hmm.
You know the little boy that says, boys have a penis, girls have... It's that kid with ghostly white face makeup, like they have him like pasty dead white gray.
Nice.
He is that kid. And he slices right through the Achilles tendon.
You gotta hurry up. Bella's getting in trouble.
Uh-oh. All right, next. In its third weekend out, fifth place, 90.2 total, 9.4 this past weekend, Dumbo.
Actually, I want to see that. Solera doesn't seem interested, so I'm gonna wait till it comes on Netflix. Or
Yeah, Abrielle said the same thing.
Or
She's like, I don't want to go to the
Redbox.
movies. She goes, but I kind of want to watch that.
yeah,
In sixth, in its sixth
Actually,
weekend
so
out.
Aaron and I are more interested in watching it this year.
In its sixth weekend out, it's made $386.5 million. It made 8.6
Captain
this past
Marvel.
weekend. Captain Marvel. In its fourth weekend out, in seventh place, it's made 163.4 overall, 6.8 this past week. You not no guess on this one? Us.
Oh, shit, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Still haven't watched it.
In its first week out, in eighth place, it made $6 million. I don't know this movie, so I'll have to look this one up. It's got two chicks like holding each other's boobs and kissing on the cover. It's called After.
After you're done, use the cloth.
Who uses a cloth?
She's gonna come up yelling at me.
In ninth place, $5.9 million. A cartoon movie called Missing Link. I saw the.
That's sort of previews.
Yeah, it looks.
Slayer doesn't care, so I don't care.
It's to me when I saw the trailer, it looked more adulty, but with kids. But when the kids play,
Cartoon.
yeah, I'm like why don't you just go for the gusto and make it like a sausage party?
Fucking hilarious movie. I love that movie.
And in 10th place, its second weekend out, made 8.1 overall, $2 million this past weekend. The Best of Enemies.
Never heard of it.
It's got what's her face in it there. I'm blanking on her fucking name. God damn it! I don't want to click on it because it's a pointless waste of time. But all right, so going through the things that are in the theater, you son of a bitch. Shazam was in 4,306 theaters. Little was in 2,667. Hellboy was in 3,303, and it still was like third. Dumbo was in 3,706, and it's been out for that long. Captain Marvel still in 2,975. Pet Sematary still in 3,585. Missing Link in 3,413. Us is down to 2,768. That After movie is at 2,138. Unplanned is at 1,400. The Best of Enemies 1,705. That 5 Feet Apart movie that Abrielle is like dying to see. Hopefully not in the manner of that movie. 1,473. Wonder Park 1172. How to Train Your Dragon still on here. The Hidden World 822. Hotel Mumbai 617. I don't know why I said it that way. 617. The Mustang with 527. Amazing Grace 58. Tyler Perry's a Medea family reunion. You said he's gonna ride that shit till it makes $75 million. It's up 72.7 now.
We'll be talking about it next week.
475. If it's in 475, we definitely will. That No Mantres Frida 2 is still in 135. That's now made $9 million. It made the $9 million mark. 272 still the Lego Movie 2. 312 Mia and the White Lion. 234 The Aftermath. Gloria Bells and Apollo 11 126. The High Life 32. The Upside still in 179. Alita Battle Angel still in the theaters 149. Green Book still in theaters 139. A movie called They Shall Not Grow Old 192. The Beach Bum in 100. The Public 97. Isn't It Romantic 108. Teen Spirit in 4. Okay. Los 224. Cold Pursuit 92. Fighting with My Family still in 94. Bohemian Rhapsody still in 31. Jesus. Escape Room still in 44, and that's coming out on DVD. The Kid in 49. Jeez, there's a lot of fucking movies this past weekend. Was there a reason why? Jesus, but anyway, that's the show
Easter
for
weekend, maybe?
this weekend. This weekend, I would.
Fucking yeah. See?
This weekend, I would say.
Shows you
Yeah.
how much I'm. Shows you. There is a movie I want to see.
Christmas weekend.
There's a movie coming up. It's not coming out until August. I want to see.
Look what I did.
Did you paint the bear?
No.
Oh, I was gonna say that is fantastic.
Made the bear statue.
Oh, ow! You did? Ow! Why? What are you doing, Bella? Did you make the shirt?
No.
Oh.
Good Boys. Seth Rogen's new movie.
Oh yes, I saw the trailer for it.
That looks hilarious.
Yes, it does. So keep on the lookout for that movie, everybody. Good
The only
boys.
one I said next week, but the only movies I'm looking forward to are the Disney
Oh,
ones.
something.
Yeah.
I'm forward to see Aladdin and Lion King. And that's not even because I think Solera wants to go watch it. With our,
I'm gonna watch Lion King.
but it's,
I want to watch Lion King
you know,
and Aladdin
What about Dumbo?
and And Dumbo.
See, I told you it's more.
Yeah, we just got done saying that the adults seem to want to see Dumbo more than the children.
No, I really want to see that though.
Oh, okay.
Just take a drink.
No, I'm good. Thank you, though. What's that? The Lorenzo Cain robbed another home run
Nice.
by the Cardinals.
But his defensive run saved is -7.
Might have been Goldie. He brought back a.
Better not been Goldie or Carpenter.
Well, it just shows the picture. Like, look at how high. I guess it's almost to his elbow over the fence. Did you see it before it disappeared?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, not tonight.
But anyway, hi Bella. You want to say goodbye to everybody? There you go. Bella was saying goodbye, everybody. That's the show for tonight. Thank you guys so much for listening. We really do appreciate it. You find us here at Spreaker.com/show/nautical podcast. Also, if you're listening through iTunes, thank you so much. You can download it there. You can like us, rate us, do all that shit there. Also, when you're on Spreaker, hit the little follow tab. That way you know whenever we go live. We appreciate that. And you can always interact with us. This is the first week we really didn't have anybody interacting. So thank you guys so much there. Follow along with us on Facebook, facebook.com/Nautical Podcast. Find us on Twitter at Nautical Pod, Instagram at Nautical Podcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Nautical first word, second is podcast. This will be up there as well. This episode will be on YouTube. So that's it. Anything you want to say?
We'll come to the Black Lives Matter.
So thank you for listening to the Taxman Rings 42 times. That is an homage to today's tax day and Jackie Robinson Day.
Today is tax day, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. So that's why I put, instead of the gentleman, always knocks twice or always knocks once or whatever the hell it is, I put the Taxman Rings 42 times as a way to get all those things in there. So thank you guys so much. My name is Brad.
I'm not.
That's CD. Thank you guys so much for listening. Have a good one, everybody.
Stay black.